Okay, thank you. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Douglas Planning Board meeting for June 11th, 2020. The meeting is being recorded and is available for viewing on the Douglas Public Access Channel and on the Douglas website. We'll come to order at 7:14. And the first item on our agenda is reorganization. We haven't done that yet, and we should do that to start.
On that, I'd like to make a motion. I'd like to make a motion to have Ernest Mark remain as chair and Trace Sharkey as vice chair.
Second that motion.
I'd like to make a motion, just Tracy is chairman and Ernie is vice chair, just to change it up.
Right,
To see how people
that's
feel.
two motions.
I think you have
Anything
to-
else?
You have to vote on each one, right? You would have to vote on each one.
Yep.
All right, on the first motion by Mike, anybody want to second that?
Yeah.
I did already.
Aaron seconded it, okay.
Keep it real.
All right. All those in favor of motion one?
Aye. Roll call, yeah.
I'll need a roll call vote.
How do you all feel?
Mike
about it?
Greco, aye.
Aaron Sokrat, aye.
Bill Stevens, nay.
Mike Swicker, aye.
Jake Schultzberg, nay.
Okay,
You two got it.
How do you feel about it all?
and you want to do the second motion, or,
Well,
we
it
make up
won't pass.
yeah, I mean, all right, we'll do the second motion if you want.
No.
No?
No.
Okay. All right, so the motion carries.
Isn't there a
Tracy,
question whether you accept your?
Yeah, do you want?
I'll remain as chairman, and you'll be
Okay.
vice chairman?
All right.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Daytime.
All right. First item on the agenda. 7 o'clock, public hearing continued, Cooperstown Road Realty Trust. Application for the definitive subdivision residential compound Hawk Hill Farm, 768 and 772 Northwest Main Street. Possible votes.
Kevin, this guy, Mike.
Yeah, good evening. My name is Byron Andrews, Andrews Survey and Engineering. Is this a good location for them?
Good location.
Maybe just a little more to the right?
Bill, do you have a soft copy of this?
Like that?
I do.
that
Not of the colored one, but
Well, if he goes into the middle there, can you all see it? If he goes over to the right more? I don't care. I can see
I can see it.
my head.
See it?
The way,
I'll-
people at home should be able to see.
Hold on.
hold on.
Oh, I get as far as Jake. Give me to the web browser. Right there. You want to go to the tiny URL?
Yeah.
That one? No, the top one. What happened? Oh, no, it's my
I have
fault.
some
I'll fix it.
colored copies as well.
Like when you do these colored lines.
Yeah, it's easy to talk about, you know. Can you pass those, some of these over?
The highlighted blue versus the highlighted green is going to be the challenge.
I have 3 more. So.
You got three?
You have to remember, I have this frame.
Thank you.
One more for Aaron.
Aaron, do you have one?
I'll bring one, yeah. No, well, we need another one. Okay.
I'm good.
You don't want it? Okay, we're all set. We're all set.
Send in
All set?
somewhere.
Want this in back, or
Once
just?
it pops
Do
out.
you see the blue?
Yeah.
And they take this color and that color and get this color, or this and this and get that.
Is there a better spot in the room, Bill?
Firewall security.
For him to be, like here, maybe? And I'll just step over.
Well, I guess Kevin can zoom in with the camera on, if you want to do that.
Yeah. Is it actually, is it actually
Oh,
showing?
that thing's right on me. Huh?
Yeah, you can just turn it that way.
Get that off of me.
Ooh. Zooms in? Or bring it
Camera's
closer?
off you, Jake.
Oh, thank you.
There we go.
Whoa.
Let's go up.
Hey, that's cool.
Excellent.
Okay, we good?
Yeah, that looks good.
Yeah, I'm impressed.
We are requesting a waiver to section 4.3.2E of the residential compound regulations, which says no more than one RCP subdivision shall be created from a property or a set of contiguous properties held in common ownership as of May 26, 2009.
It is.
The parcels which comprise the proposed residential compound were all owned by the Cooperstown Realty Trust prior to May 26, 2009. 2 of the parcels were transferred to the individual trustees, and that would be the yellow parcel here and the blue parcel here. And this belongs to the Schlesmans, and this belongs to the Chapmans. All this in green belongs to the Cooperstown Realty Trust, which is owned by Mr. Chapman and Mr. Schlesman. Our position is that while this may not fit the strictest definition of the bylaw, we feel that it complies with the spirit of the bylaw, which is to create compounds for, for families, for groups that are close to each other. Ever since the year 2000, this property here, this one in 2003, have been owned and managed by the 2 families. They're trying to create a residential compound. They're looking to their future, to their retirement. They want to remain in these locations. So the residential compound shown on this sheet, they'd still have the same residences, and it would create 2 extra lots, which is Lot 4 and Parcel A, which actually they do not intend to use as a residential lot, although it would fit the requirements. So really, the change in the location would be small, certainly within the requirements of the residential bylaw. And I think this is a unique situation. The board may be concerned about creating precedents for different situations in the town, but I would challenge the board to find any situation where you've had 2 families that have managed land like this for such a long period of time. I think that this situation is in harmony with the intent of the bylaw.
So just a question for the chair. So parcel A, your first parcel on the entryway, so that would be considered a developable lot, not undevelopable, right?
Yeah.
From the standards. And then you'll have 2 other lots on the top.
Right.
So
There's no plan to develop Parcel A,
Yeah.
which is why we call it Parcel A rather than Lot 5.
Correct.
But technically speaking, I think it would
Meets the requirements.
would meet the requirements of a buildable lot.
Okay, fair enough.
So if I may ask, so there's currently 2 houses on all of that property?
Yes, these
And-
2 houses right here.
And the idea is that they're looking to go to 5 total dwellings?
They have
2?
potential for 5.
Well, yeah, but up to 5, you're looking for 5 dwellings?
Yeah.
Bill, comments or questions?
So, as you recall, town council was at the last meeting, and he gave his opinion on the purpose of the bylaw. And he thought this might be, subject to the board's interpretation within that scope. But it was my understanding that the board also requested a waiver from that section from the applicant, so that, we're certain we don't establish precedent. I think Byron submitted a letter
That's a good idea.
with that waiver request, so, in spite of the fact that, it may meet the bylaw, granting the waiver basically removes that determination.
Right. So then the next people trying to do something like this would have to
Can't
ask
point
for,
to this
they'd have to
project.
ask for a waiver, and every project would stand on its own merits. Okay.
Mike?
I got a couple questions. Access to parcel D.
Parcel B, currently, since they're in the same ownership, the access is through here. If it were conveyed out, it would be a landlocked parcel. It was a landlocked parcel previously, but it was acquired by the Cooperstown Realty Trust.
I didn't think we'd landlock any possible parcels.
Well, that's on a subdivision, standard subdivision. You try not to access. You don't lock anybody out on a subdivision, but this is a residential compound, and so it is what it is.
I don't, because you have lots, in reality, throughout there, you can, and I know what's gonna go on down the road, you're gonna combine lots A and B, or you're gonna have B as an access to go into lots D to make 2 more lots over there in that corner. Because you're right on the main drag. I mean, it's clear as day. That's why it's split it up this way. So that's why I'm asking, what's the intent on getting into Lot D?
Can you point out Lot D, Ira?
Lot D is this right here.
Thank you.
The,
In Northwest Maine, you have picture frontage on Northwest Main with lots A and B. If we could have, it, please, do you have it there?
Lot A and B.
Yeah, what's your frontage right there on Lot A?
On Lot A, I don't have that on this drawing. I know it has enough frontage on the new road.
Yeah.
I don't know if it has enough frontage on
You
Northwest.
scale
Main.
right down there for the ballpark. What's it gonna give you?
What do you think?
It'd be a ballpark there.
Because I didn't bring my scale.
No, I understand. I'm
Oh, I
not
haven't.
holding to the exact number, but
I could have. Bill has one.
Yeah, this is approximately 200.
right. So what you'll do then is on Lot B, you'll take some of B, add it to A to make sure you have your 200. Then on B, you'll have your access road going into Lot D.
Possibly. Possibly.
I
Byron,
know.
Actually-
I mean, come on.
Actually, we're separating parcel B from parcel A. So we wouldn't combine that later because we're separating it now, otherwise we would leave it like that.
But to develop two lots would be real easy to put it back together. Because you come in with another A and R.
Yeah, but that's,
Well, that would be-
that's,
I know,
we
I
can't,
know,
we
I know,
can't,
I'm just
we can't
saying.
assume that. I mean,
Right.
this is the plan presented to us,
So
so.
what Mike's saying is it ends up at 6 lots.
Right. That's what I'm getting at. I know he's asking for the 2, but potentially just remember it's 4 there, not 2.
All right. I think, I mean, you have a point.
Yes.
But
I know what you're going after on the other 2, though, that you're asking.
what, now, let me, this lot right, this parcel right here can already be a buildable lot, which we've already said.
yeah.
So there's really, so this is already included in this. This is the parcel we're separating out, and it doesn't, taking this out doesn't affect the residential compound. If the residential
Right.
compound were denied, this could be taken out and used separately anyway. So it's really, I'd say that's a separate question.
This
Byron,
one is
just
skinny
for
heads.
clarification,
Yep.
just 2 questions. One, what is the proposed driveway road to be along the residential compound?
The,
Construction materials.
unfortunately, it doesn't show on this
For the
one.
record.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
does show on this one, and it shows the new part to be added.
Yeah.
So the existing driveway is like this,
Correct.
and a turnaround would be added at the end here.
Yep.
And access, say, to this lot would be from here.
What's the
What's
existing
the
width?
material?
Yeah.
The proposed material?
I don't have that with me. I wasn't really going to go into the design issues at this meeting.
No,
But I think, I know the material, there is going to be material added at least in this section.
Okay.
The original plan was to maintain the existing driveway surface.
What's the width of that right now? Serving 2 houses or 1 house right now?
It's serving both houses.
Okay, so what's the width of that existing right now? And what's proposed?
I think this is a proposed 20-foot width. I don't know the width for right now. It's probably about,
What would it be? What are you proposing for it? Just keeping it a little driveway to serve, what,
Yeah, what-
4 houses?
what we're proposing is to keep this section here, the same surface, and then improve the surface here.
Okay.
This is, and I'm going from memory here, of course. I believe this is paved, and this may not be paved, which is why we're
Okay.
improving the surface.
But the intent would be to pave it, to match the existing surface?
Yeah, I believe the whole thing will be paved.
Byron, what's the purpose of cutting off that little triangle on the other page?
The purpose of that would be,
Like, you're creating like the triangle
yeah, that would be to provide access to this parcel here in the future.
in the future? Okay. I just wasn't sure, because what you do is you're creating this anomaly of that that's not a buildable lot, and you're creating a lot that sometimes can get lost over time. So that's my concern, is when you cut something off, it becomes an open, and those get lost over
Yeah.
time.
So there's 7 lots here, right? Would that other, the one that he was just talking about, is that also an existing lot?
They took a pie out to make it look funny, but potential to add 2 more lots.
Yeah, possible.
to add 2 more lots, but who's the Schlesman there in the front with the little, did you see it? This one, here, on this,
Who's the lower?
it says Northwest Main Street, map 123, Joseph Schlesman, Robert Chapman, book,
Right there.
that one.
This one?
What is that?
That's, well, it's a separate parcel.
But the same, one of the same people that are involved with the trust.
Yeah, the trust owns everything in green and also this parcel right here.
So it does own that as well.
Yeah.
They
So,
just don't want to put it part of the project.
Yeah, it's not part of the project.
so if you added that in, would it be 7 lots,
No,
potentially down the road?
so,
You can't cut-
Just asking.
yeah, so right now we have 1, 2, 3, 4,
Yep,
5.
yep,
6.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
yep,
The other one's 6 that Mike was talking about.
Access to D.
Access to,
yep.
no, that doesn't actually have access. That comes to a point,
Right.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what you're proposing is 5 lots?
Yeah, it'd be 5
Oh, this is
lots.
on, that's in front of.
Yeah, this one would be separated out. It would probably go with this one in the future.
Yeah, yeah, it's all possible in the future, so
Yeah.
it is what it is. And what's the waiver you requested?
A waiver for the strict definition of common ownership, because, again, in the strictest definition of the term, all this would have to be owned by, say, the trust.
One person, okay.
Yeah, one person or one legal entity.
Okay.
This is all owned by the trust, and
Yep.
these 2 lots are owned by the individuals who
Okay.
control the trust.
Okay. Fair enough.
Okay, Byron, that's the sole purpose for our meeting tonight, is just to determine
Just determine that.
the waiver. You're not going to present anything else at this time, other than
Right,
just
yeah, at the next meeting
asking
we'll
for the
present
waiver.
the
Very good,
plan.
okay. All right, board, any other questions?
Take a look.
Bill, anything further?
Yeah, I do. That little, the guy that's designated Lot 7,
This one right here?
That one?
no, wait a minute.
Yeah,
The page?
Yeah.
that is the
Yeah,
one.
yeah.
He's on page 2.
Okay.
That's separate from the little sliver that's above it, right?
Yeah, it's separate from the sliver. The sliver
Okay.
is actually part of this right now.
See the crazy.
So where does Lot 7 get any access anywhere?
Lot 7 has a little access right here
Yeah.
presently. That's all that Lot 7.
Okay.
That's why I would separate this
But
out.
that's all it ever had. You're not changing
all it
it.
ever had.
Right, because if you touch it, then all of a sudden it becomes 200 feet or whatever, right?
Bro?
Okay, so we know what they're asking for, the waiver. That's all they're asking for tonight. All right, so anybody have any
This
other questions?
wouldn't preclude other waivers from being requested in the future, too.
But, yeah, they have more waivers they probably will ask for when they bring in the plans for the development.
They're looking for a vote for the one waiver?
We're just, that's all we're acting on tonight,
That's
is the
pretty
one
much,
waiver.
yeah, whether we think it's the strictest as it reads, or we're going to relax that, that's all.
Okay, so someone will make a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the common ownership waiver for the Coopertown Realty Trust located at 768 and 772 Northwest Main.
I'll second that.
Okay, motion made by Les, seconded by Jake. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Tracy Sharkey, aye.
Mike Greco, aye.
Aaron Sokrat, aye.
Les Stevens, aye.
Mike Zwicker, aye.
Jake Schultzberg, aye.
Okay, motion carries. Waiver is requested to be approved.
Roll call.
All right, thank you for coming in, Byron.
Thank you, Byron.
Byron.
Yeah, it does.
Okay, next item on the agenda.
Let me tell these other folks.
Yep. One Lake Solar.
Public hearing, ASD Wallem Lake, Mass Solar LLC, application for modification of subdivision plan of land.
Mr.
that the one?
Chairman, I'm going to recuse myself.
Okay, let the record show
Stay here,
that
though.
Tracy is recusing herself. All right, Lakewood Estates, Wallem Lake Road, possible vote. Public hearing is now reopened.
I don't know if they're on the screen over there or not.
And there were people that wanted to come in for that too,
This
so.
wasn't continued. You have to read the article. You have to read the notice, right? This
Well,
was
we're
just
just-
brand new.
This is brand new?
Yeah.
Oh, all right, I have to read it then, you're right.
Happened to,
Okay.
It's okay.
Do I have a copy of that?
what happened to 751 there? Did he hop over it? Special accessory apartment permit?
Let me go look.
What are you looking at? When,
I got that on.
do the minutes.
Yeah, I think
No, this is your minutes,
Bill, I
not
don't,
your agenda. This is the agenda.
I don't have a copy of the,
Uh-oh, uh-oh. You're gonna tell them. Everybody's gonna get out.
yeah, all right. First of all, I don't have a copy of the, you have a copy of it? No? No.
I can pull it up.
I think Bill's going to get it for you, Aaron.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're gonna do this.
All right, how many people we got in here?
Just a second.
8 of us?
You got 8.
All right, we got 8. We can only have 10, right?
Yeah.
Which one for 93 Davis Street? Is that the meeting now?
Nope.
No.
Next.
Next one.
Go outside.
Okay.
All right.
that's -1.
I suppose I could leave too.
You could
That would-
I
yeah.
could leave the room.
Yeah, you could, if you want to recuse yourself.
He's going out too.
Yeah.
You're gonna leave?
Yeah.
Okay.
And this is for the
Is
long.
there an extra agenda?
It's not David.
You can grab mine.
I should have got a quick, you should have given me a quick rundown on how to use that machine.
I didn't know how to use it.
Somehow I don't have an agenda, but anyway.
Oh, you want an agenda? There's extras right here.
Good.
Are you guys all
Did you find
here for the long
yours?
link?
He got it.
Long link? Are you here for Long Lake?
Yeah, it seems like they can maintain distance in here. It's big enough room.
I'll get a clarification from Kevin when he comes in, what we should do, but
Kevin's
yeah.
stepping out.
He might have to step out and ask him.
No, Kevin stepped out.
He's gonna step out for a couple
Kevin
minutes.
stepped out,
Yeah,
yeah.
he's not gonna participate in the
You might
discussion.
need to be here though, if we have to bounce two people
I'll take the camera off.
on the,
Yeah, Aaron.
Yes.
that. So that might not be a good one.
We're on Wallam Lake MA Solar LLC.
Yeah, I'll,
7 o'clock one?
The other one was also
yes.
7.
Yeah, we're well ahead now, right?
There you go.
All right, regards to how many people we can have in the room,
We're gonna need,
Hey, Les,
Kevin left and Tracy left.
what's 45 Oak
might
Street?
need Kevin on this
45
one.
Oak Street.
That's the one off.
Bill, we might need Kevin back if there's gonna be people online though, right? He's gonna be able to work that, yeah.
You guys have your phone? You can log in on your phone.
So I don't know if it's like a certain circumstance, because we can
You know,
distance in this
The police
room.
isn't gonna come in now. Let's just, they're way back
That's fine,
there.
okay.
6 feet.
I don't have phone.
As long as they all 6 feet away.
Go roll with it. Go, Arnie.
All right, we ready, board?
Yep, I'm good.
All right. In accordance with Massachusetts General Laws, Chapter 41, Section Q-1,
Have Kevin.
and the Town of Douglas rules and regulations governing the subdivision of land in Douglas, the Douglas Planning Board will hold a public hearing for the petition ASD Wallam Lake MA Solar LLC on the application for a modification of a definitive subdivision plan of land by removing 18 proposed lots and reverting back to one single lot. The site consists of 56 acres of land and contains 18 proposed lots located northerly, unknown owners, easterly by various owners, and Wallam Lake Road southerly by MARI State Line, and westerly by Nelson Land, which parallels the Shore Road. Property owner is Douglas Properties LLC, P.O. Box 932, 306 Main Street, Douglas, Mass., as shown on the definitive subdivision plan of land entitled Lakewood Estates by Yerker Engineering LLC, 128 West Hartford Avenue, Uxbridge, Mass., dated August 27, 2007. Public hearing will be held on Thursday, June 11, 2020, at 7 p.m. in the Municipal Center Resource Room, 29 Depot Street, Douglas, Mass. A copy of the application is available for viewing in the Community Development Department during regular business hours Any person interested or wishing to be heard on the proposed application should appear at the time and place designated. Dennis Marks, Jr., Chairman, Douglas Planning Board. Public hearing is now open.
The applicant's online, please.
Good afternoon. Can everyone hear me?
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
Thank you. So we are looking to recombine the parcels as well as to remove the covenant associated with the previous subdivision, all for the purpose of moving forward with our building permit for the solar array approved last year on these properties. The solar site plan review permit requires the covenant to be removed, and the board stated earlier that they were more comfortable with a recombination of the entire property, as not to leave an unpermitted subdivision functionally underneath the array for the distant future. Try to keep that mess from happening generations down the line. So it's the all 18 parcels of the subdivision.
Hey,
back-
guys, you can hear you on the microphone.
Yep.
Be removed. The covenant would otherwise expire in November of this year. It has been extended, I think, 3 times since the original subdivision was granted. But since we're looking to break ground before November, December, to meet the standards of the site plan review permit and the building permit to follow, we need to remove it now.
Okay, thank you. No questions from the audience yet, Lou.
So this was a previous subdivision, and all we're doing is removing the covenants related to the subdivision, putting it back into one parcel, or back into
Yeah, one parcel.
one parcel.
Yep.
So it's basically an A&R,
Yeah,
pretty straightforward.
yep, pretty straightforward.
Okay, I think, no, yeah, it's what it is, where it's gonna
Yep.
go, I mean. I don't know, we had how many homes in there? 24? 24 homes?
so this, the solar array was all approved, now the land's just getting all put under one. Correct.
Yeah.
Which we asked for.
It was an approved subdivision, we did approve it, so we're taking it out of that status,
Now,
making it one parcel again, and it'll no longer be a subdivision plan on record. Yeah.
Question to Bill, do we have to sign another Mylar?
No.
Okay, this is just the original? That's all you're showing us?
According to town council, all they have to record is an 81X plan.
Okay.
All they're doing is removing the interior lot line.
Yep, okay. Yeah, it's like an A&R to
Right.
us, reverse A&R.
Not even an
Yeah,
A&R.
not even-
Right.
Okay. All right.
Okay, anybody else on the board have any questions?
Nope, I think it's cut and dry.
Housekeeping.
All right, this is a public hearing, we'll take comments from the audience if there are any.
There it is.
Lou, did you have something?
Yeah, well,
Your name and address, please, Lou?
Louis Tizino, 14 West Street, Douglas, Mass.
Thank you, Lou.
The only thing I'm looking at is this here. We went to court, I said I owned the road, and we went to court, and this here and that there, and the judge came back and said, well, no, it's a private road, but everybody's got, I don't know what happened, but it wasn't right. I didn't think it was right. So I appealed it. So now that I appealed it, it's a good chance I'm gonna win it. So if I win it, okay, what do you guys do then?
You're talking about Shore Road?
Yeah,
They've got access off of Wallen Lake Road. The proposed plan is to access it
no,
through.
see, this is gonna erase all that.
No, you can't erase they already have access on Wallen Lake Road related to this subdivision.
Lou, this is the solar farm that's going up on Wallen Lake Road, right?
I was under the understanding, right, that what they're gonna do is take away the covenant that they got now. Right now, they got a subdivision.
That's right. The whole point of this exercise is to remove the no-build covenant that the subdivision created on each individual lot.
Right. I mean, so they're gonna remove it.
That's it.
Right.
But if I win, they have nobody has no right to, they're gonna lose Shore Road.
They're not accessing through Shore Road.
No. What do you mean?
They're not accessing
They
this.
made lots on Shore Road.
That's not what's
No.
before us.
No,
You know what I'm saying there?
yeah, they're not accessing anything off of Shore Road. It's coming in off of Wallen Lake Road.
So let me see if I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
Originally.
So
There were a couple of lots, yes.
Right.
Yeah.
But
Since then, there's been a number of A&R lots that were subdivided off of Shore Road, which
That's-
created a separation from the subdivision project to Shore Road. So in other words, they had some oversized lots
That did come
that they
down.
cut in half, so half of it fronted on Shore Road until the legal issues were resolved. And then the remainder went off the new road. So the current subdivision is all off the new road. Those A&R lots are separate and not part of this.
Agree? Agree. And
So,
even
yeah,
if it's even if it's outside our scope.
so they won't have any access off
What
it.
happens when they take that, okay, it's gonna block the access. They're not gonna be able to get out of there.
They're not currently using that access right now.
No, but they're gonna lose it.
That's outside of our.
Okay, well, all right, go ahead, Lou, finish your statement, because this is, that's not an issue for this board, and
No, okay, but all I wanna do is tell this board.
yeah, that's what I'm allowing you to do, yeah.
You guys are getting caught in the middle, because what you're doing is you're gonna, if you okay this, and it's fine, okay it, I don't care.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you okay it and I win,
Yeah.
right, I put up a fence. Now, all these people sold these lots and got this lots and everything out,
Mm-hmm.
and you people actually put them in this mess, because
Mm-hmm.
you made everybody believe there was lots with access. Am I right, Bill? Am I explaining it right?
No.
Okay, go ahead, Lou, finish.
Okay?
Yeah.
So, I mean, this is what I see, and that's the only reason I'm here tonight.
Okay, all right,
Okay? That's the only reason I'm here tonight, because when I win, I believe I'm gonna win.
okay,
Yeah, you know, and if I win, I could go up and put a fence down. Anybody who built a house on this side, I hope they got enough food to stay there a long time, because they can't come back on the road.
Yeah, I get it, yep.
Oh, you understand what I'm
I
saying?
understand.
Yep.
I understand what you're
Okay.
all
proposing.
right.
Now, they've been selling lots up there.
Between them and them.
Yeah, but you can't say,
It's outside our scope, Lou. Our scope, I mean, we don't determine whether a lot is buildable or non-buildable. A person can come in with an A&R plan that's, you know, of 20 acres in the woods, and they want to cut it in half, we have to approve it. That's it. Same situation.
Yeah, but you already- yeah, but
We
you
don't
already
determine
did that.
All
buildable.
right, yeah, we're not going to have conversation between, it's going to come through the chair, and then we'll,
So what,
yeah.
that's the only thing I'm saying.
Okay.
I don't want it to come back, you know, because those, that's gonna be blocked, and once it's blocked, then, you know, everyone's gotta return everybody's money.
Okay.
Okay?
All right.
And their biggest thing is, the planning board said it's a lot.
Good luck with that.
Okay, all right. Okay, Lou, thank you.
Only thing I got to say.
Okay, thank you. All right, anybody else have any questions or comments? Name and address, please.
There is difference between the taxes if you separate that from one lot or house lot.
Who pays the taxes? Is that what the question?
Now, do they
We didn't get
have
his
to pay
name
taxes on every house lot? And if you make it one lot, they don't pay?
No, they're in an agreement with the town for,
Pilot.
Bill, what's it called, the agreement we struck with the, so what's it called, the agreement we struck?
Yeah, the pilot program.
There's a question about who pays the taxes.
Yeah, payment.
There's a pilot program.
Agreement was structured with the selectmen and approved at town meeting, I believe. Is that correct?
Yeah.
But still, are they gonna pay less taxes as one
Not
lot?
necessarily.
Not necessarily.
No.
How much is it, Bill?
Well, the property taxes, I mean, obviously, if it's one lot, will be valued lower than
Yeah,
22
and then-
lots.
right.
So they've been playing 22 lots, probably not a full-blown lot value because there's no subdivision road that's been built, but it's probably more than just one large lot, yes. I don't know the specifics, but yes.
Yeah.
Do we know what the pilot program's worth?
After one.
Why, because there's no kids going to school, there's no fire trucks that's down there, doesn't cost anything to have it there, and you're getting money for it. No roads to plow, no lights to turn
Who's
on,
getting
no
money
nothing.
for it?
Huh?
Who's getting money for it?
No, we're not going to, Mike, we're not going to do questions back and forth with, they'll come through the chair and,
What he's asking then is the same.
Yeah.
We're not making any money from the solar field.
Well, can I say?
there is a pilot program in place, and the town is being well paid for the solar company to put their farm in.
Ernie,
Yes.
may I say something? Because we've worked really hard on all these solar projects to have these companies engage in a pilot program. The last one that was just in here wanted to do this tax thing, and in a year it'd be thrown away, we get nothing. So we worked hard, the selectmen worked hard, and it's a lot of money they're gonna pay us. A lot of money. I don't have the number, but it's a lot more than just probably taxes on property. every single year.
Public record. Where do you see that?
The selectmen have it.
No, please, Les, don't, no, come,
not
I don't, come through the chair, and then we'll answer the question they asked. All right, you have a question?
No, I'm done.
Okay, anybody else have any questions? Yes, Bill?
I just have a comment. It's certainly within their rights, regardless of what the other project is, to request this of the board, and that's all they're doing at this meeting today. This really has nothing to do in front of the board tonight with the solar farm. It may for the applicant, but for the board's purposes, it really doesn't, you know, their consideration is the merits of the submittal that's before them right now.
All right,
We just waste our time here and get it shoved up our butt.
That's not fair. Please, it's not fair. We work.
all right, no, hey, Aaron, please, no,
Okay, sorry.
no.
What are the merits?
They have a proposal. It's up to the board. They have an approved subdivision. They're asking for the board to rescind the approval.
That's all it is, Mike.
And I'm just gonna-
It will no longer be a
I can't,
subdivision.
hold on,
Correct.
one person at a time.
Correct.
And that's what they want to do,
That's what the
what
request
they're
is.
proposing. All right.
And then they
Okay,
can
Les, go ahead.
contact the Board of Selectmen, because the selectmen are the ones that worked out the pilot program.
Yeah, but we're not discussing any of that tonight, that's
I
not,
understand, but the selectmen discuss that.
the selectmen decide the pilot program, yes. Go ahead, Les.
Any other questions from the audience? We're ready to move.
Yeah, that's what I'm asking, any other questions from the audience? Yes, ma'am. Name and address, please.
Jennifer Dottridge, 3 Angel Road. I would like to address the comment that the town worked very hard on the preparation for this, because myself and several other people produced piles of documentation as to the detriment that this would do to our neighborhood. And we had petitions. We never knew anything about the hard work the town did. We're the people affected.
Okay, thank you. All right, board, anybody else? All right, someone want to make a motion?
I'll make a motion to close the public hearing for EWS Walm Lake Solar.
Okay, motion's been made, somebody want to second it?
How many meetings we have on that?
Second.
All right, seconded by Mike? Mike G. All right, any further discussion? All right, we'll do a roll call vote on closing the public hearing.
Mike Greco, aye.
Aaron Sokrat, aye.
Les Stevens, aye.
Mike Zwicker, aye?
Jake Schultzberg, aye.
Okay, the motion carries. All right, now, to
Take a
grant...
5-minute break. Is it possible?
No, we're gonna finish this.
Okay.
I'll make a motion to approve the
Oh, yeah.
covenant.
Removal of the
No,
covenant.
you're voting to rescind the
Rescind.
approval of the subdivision.
Yeah.
Okay, that's your motion, Les?
Yeah, I'll make a motion on that.
I'll second that.
All right, seconded by Mike Z. Any further discussion? All right, all those in favor, roll call vote. Mike?
Mike Greco, aye.
Aaron Sokrat, aye.
Les Stevens, aye.
Jake Schultzberg, aye.
All right, the motion carries, all right.
Okay, so at the next meeting, I will prepare the decision for your signature, and I'll have the lot release form also ready for you to sign.
Correct.
All right. Okay, from the applicant, any further comments or questions?
No further questions. Is the next meeting on the 15th, I believe?
Yes, that's correct.
Yes, yep.
Thank you. I'll be here to be there.
Okay, very good.
July.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
I was sure it was the 25th.
All right.
Can you take a 5-minute break, please?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep, thank you. We're going to break for 5 minutes.
Yep.
You're on the clock, I'm timing you.
Computer's not on.
Pick a fight? What's he gonna go pick a fight with the guy?
What's that?
What's he gonna go pick a fight with?
Yeah. It's too many times we get off topic when, you know, it's not for us to handle that. And we can't have people like that.
Normally, people don't want a subdivision.
Are the mics still on?
Yes.
Okay, so let's just watch what we say.
Right, that's down here.
We had one in July.
July 15th
Oh,
is...
6/11, I guess.
if it's 11 or 7.
I thought it was the
No,
15th.
it is the 15th.
Yes,
I think. I think it's
15th, that's wrong.
7:15 is our next.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
We voted on that there.
Yeah, this says June, not July. It should be
Yeah,
probably
this
July.
is the only one
I
meeting
can
in
only do
June,
so much.
and only one meeting in July.
And is it the 11th, you think?
Today's the 11th. Yes, it is.
It's a Thursday, I think.
It is.
Started last night, Mike.
What's that?
Thursday started last night.
You're right, Lou, yeah.
I think I muted the mic. Oh, no.
Okay, I want to thank the board. And my concern's only that, okay?
Yeah.
Because
their risk.
I'm feeling pretty lucky.
Yeah.
I feel I'm gonna win,
Yeah.
and you know,
I mean, we can't determine what's going to happen, but we'll, whatever happens, Lou, we'll take that up in our next.
no, hey, I told you, right?
You did.
Okay,
All
that's
right.
all that matters.
All right. Thank you for coming in, Lou.
Hey,
Appreciate
take
it.
easy. Am I right?
You have a good one.
Hey, take it easy. Very good.
You too. Be safe.
Actually,
You guys still
Can we
plow
chat
short
out of,
still, right?
Yes, we do. Yeah, we plow it and sand it. Yeah.
And everything down there.
I'm sorry?
And everything down there too, right?
Yeah, all the side roads too. Yep, we do. That's pretty much the extent of what we do down there.
Louis' issue.
Because it's public safety.
Couple times a year, we go in, if there's some serious washout and stuff, we'll do some grading,
Can't talk about it?
put some gravel and stuff, but
No.
I know, huh? I think the air conditioning shut off, because it's getting a little stuffy in here now.
The problem is you open the window and you drink more, because now you're gonna get all the rain.
They cut it back.
All those were blowing last meeting, I was listening to. The reason I said something when you, because when I listened to the last meeting, I watched, any little whispering that we usually do it on, everything gets picked up on the microphones, and when somebody's trying to present something, that's all you can hear is that background noise, and,
And just so you folks know,
yeah,
if you push this button here and the light goes off, turns your mic off.
yeah, okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
It was just mainly making sure he was on the right page on the plan that was being presented.
Now, you must have picked up on that too, Les. I mean, there was just so much background noise and stuff. When Jay was talking, I couldn't hear anything he was saying, because there was so many. All right, is our 5 minutes up?
Should mute some of these probably.
Yeah, I think
We're
we're
missing just, all right.
Kevin should pull
Is-
in
Kevin's still here, right?
Yeah, he's right out in the hall.
And then we need Tracy too.
Yeah,
We're just gonna recuse.
What's the next item?
93.
Oh, she's gonna recuse herself.
Do we have a lot of people out there waiting for it? That's what I want to know.
Let me.
You might just,
Let me.
So you're still live, everyone, just so you know.
Yep. Let me just ask you back up.
It almost runs itself.
Welcome back.
You know, I gotta say, the parking lot is like way more fascinating than the meeting itself, because the stuff that takes place out there is like, wow.
All right.
We're still muted, right? Yeah. I found out that the Board of Selectmen are a bunch of assholes. If I run into those guys, let me tell you, they're gonna get a piece of my mind.
93 days.
What's that?
People that wanted to attend. Or 93 days.
I'm back here, 93 days.
Oh, whenever you guys are all seated and ready, we pull everything
Wait
back.
for Ernie now.
Oh, yeah.
I also learned that everything is Bill's fault.
Yes, thank you. That's okay. It's always been my fault.
I've been in that seat before. Where we just,
You know what, Bill? I still like you, man. Hope
I
that helps.
appreciate it, Kevin.
where'd you get the ink?
One of my friends.
Nice.
Ernie, we're waiting for you.
It was off the bus.
yeah.
Early birthday gift.
Yeah. I wanna get more, I just can't justify spending that.
See no blackout.
So ridiculous. They were freaking out.
Okay, we're back on.
Thank you.
All set, Kev?
If you say so, or if
All
you're the
right.
boss, you tell me what needs to happen, buddy.
All right. Next item on the agenda.
You're live.
7:30, public hearing, 93 Davis Realty Trust, application for site plan review, 93 Davis Street, possible vote. That public hearing has already been opened, right, Bill? We did that already?
No, this is the opening.
This is the opening? Okay.
Public notice in there?
Do I have a copy of that one?
I'll get a copy.
I don't have one.
Yep.
Yeah, I think there was one in here, I think. Where'd it go?
We have a reduced frontage.
No.
Yeah, I don't know if it's new.
Okay, I just muted the background noise.
No what?
Oh, Davis. No, I don't have a copy of it.
Over here is everybody that's currently in the call. You click on one of their mics, you can mute or unmute. So the camera's right here, you can just turn it up.
What is this? Try to do it. I muted it during that break.
Davis, what?
You did a fine job.
I might be able to pull it up on the iPad.
No, Bill went to get me one, so.
Yeah, you know, for some reason it's blocking.
It's supposed to be in my packet. Don't know why they're not.
So you're looking for the public notice?
Yeah.
Oh, this is the marijuana one, right? This is the store?
Yes.
The building, okay, yeah. Nice site plan, by the way, guys, in my opinion. The parking and everything is well done. What's it? I'm sure it's going to be a slab-on-grade building, fully accessible.
Yeah, of course.
What would you do otherwise,
With a
right?
retail unit?
Hey, they're putting in a solar parking?
Oh, canopy thing?
Yeah, it looks like, what's this here? Or is oh, no, my. That's probably septic. That's a septic field.
I think we're just waiting for the notice.
Yeah, I can't get to the
notice,
the webpage.
Yeah, I'm not even seeing it on the,
We're experiencing technical difficulties.
Oh, yeah, they just say here, all applicable VMAAB. Light poles.
Excuse me, I was a little late. Did we already talk about 93 Davis Street?
No?
No, we're opening the public hearing right now, couple minutes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Farm tractors. Love it. We just broke a PTO on it. Trying to,
Did you do a CL on it?
it was undersized for the tiller. It was meant for a smaller tractor when we bought it. And the male
Waiting on the public notices.
was only about this
Yeah.
way. Open.
Yeah.
And
Somebody dropped the ball.
well, this thing finally blew up after a year, and the whole thing, the female part of the shaft.
Did you go time start?
No, it's good to know. I got something from Norfolk, because where we bought everything.
yeah, I finally got the flag up.
I noticed it. That was big.
Acmes and other
Found a good spot for it, huh?
Yeah.
tractor supplies.
Cool. Oh, I finally built that house.
No, but I'm gonna, don't you mention.
Other than what was
You think
there.
they got
Yeah.
some stock PTO?
For a house for tearing down.
Oh, jeez.
Jake.
I'm gonna write that in my phone.
Thank you, Bill.
Tough. With Maria working from home.
Yeah, I just painted it.
All right, you ready, board?
Yeah.
Okay, Town of Douglas Planning Board, legal notice of public hearing. Name of applicant, 93 Davis Realty Trust. Name of owner, 93 Davis Realty Trust. Date and time of the public hearing, Thursday, June 11th, 2020, at 7:30 PM. Subject matter of the hearing, the applicant is requesting approval from the Douglas Planning Board pursuant to the Douglas zoning bylaws, section 9.4, site plan review. Project description, 93 Davis Realty Trust is requesting permission to construct a 30-foot by 112-foot, 1.5-story retail cannabis establishment with associated site work, drainage, and septic system. Project site and location. The project is located at 93 Davis Street, Douglas, Mass. Assessors map 168, parcel 15. Place of public hearing, Douglas Municipal Center, resource room, 29 Depot Street. Any person interested or wishing to be heard should appear at the time and place designated. A copy of the application is available for viewing during regular business hours in the Douglas Community Development Department, 29 Depot Street. Public hearing is now open. Ernest Marks, Chairman, Douglas Planning Board. Okay.
Hello, Mr. Chair. My name is Paul Hutnack. I'm with Guaranteed Builders, and here tonight with Teresa Matson. She is with 93 Davis Realty Trust. She is a partner. I am here to represent them tonight and to represent the site plan for site plan review.
Okay.
Is there, so as a first order of business for me to be able to present, am I able to share my screen to be able to show you and detail the project, or how do you typically do that?
You should have some controls at the bottom part of your screen that would allow you to share. Do you see those?
Okay, I do. I just wanted to make sure it was okay with you guys.
Yes, that's fine.
Okay, can you see my screen now?
Yep, we got it.
So that's his
All right, so, excuse me?
Yes, we have it, yep.
Okay, all right. So we are at 93 Davis Street, as the chair just described. And just to kind of set the place here, again, here's Davis Street, and you have Monroe Street that comes in and crosses Davis Street. So this lot is located on the corner, essentially, of Davis Street and Monroe Street.
Davis 16.
So what I would like to do is kind of just go through the plan set and again, just detail the project for you. And I'll just, again, go through my screen.
Okay.
If that works for you.
That works.
Okay. So the existing conditions of the parcel, as probably most of you know, again, we're on the corner of Monroe Street and Davis Street. And here's the existing parcel. What this map details is some of the soils lines. So you have some A soils, and actually the soils map details some C soils on this project. However, I think it's probably mostly A, but we did use that as part of the stormwater design. And also, so this is the existing conditions and site preparation plan. So just to show that we're going to be taking care of the site and the roadway, we do show erosion control around the entire site, and we do show it around Davis Street. We do have a construction entrance to stop silt and sediment from getting onto the roadway during construction, and we do designate a stockpile area. So moving on to the project area, again, we have a 3,360 square foot building. So we have a 30 by 112 square foot building. I'm going to zoom in a little bit for you. So it's a barn style building. It's a slab on grade essentially, and it again will be a slab on grade. So what we have on the site is we have an ingress and an egress. So we will have one way in and one way out, and that is for vehicular safety, both entering and exiting our site, but also to allow for essentially a traffic flow around our site to be able to, again, control traffic and limit potential for any conflicts. We do have on this site 50 proposed parking spaces, As you can see, the building is oriented perpendicular to the roadway. And again, that allowed us to get this good circulation around the building. And as you can see, we have a large bank of parking spaces on this side, including 3 handicaps. And then you're able to drive around the back of the building. And you do have spaces on this side of the building as well that are connected to the building with a sidewalk system. And as you can see on the plan, we are proposing the full building, but for right now, we're building a 30 by 100 building, and we propose in the future, and we're showing it now, that we would add essentially a garage drive-through potential to the back of the building, or potentially just in addition to the building. But we wanted to show that now so that we plan for it, and you see that it could be there in the future. We do have signage to the front of the building as well. And we are again located in the commercial zone. So zooming out a little bit, we are in a commercial zone, and we do have a large parcel of town-owned land here to the north of the site. And across the street is also, is essentially vacant, used for, I think, some agricultural type use a little bit further down the road. And you do have a commercial type behind us. And there is a residential property a little bit further down Monroe Street, across the street here as well. So we're located in a good spot for this building, which will be a retail cannabis facility. So as part of that, as you would imagine, we would like to have a lot of security on the site. So we will have a lot of security lighting, and the property will be essentially have security 24/7, whether it be cameras or people on site. This is approximately a 2-acre site. It's 2.09 acres. It is a 1.5-story building, so there is some area, if you will, on a second floor. So you come up with a total square footage, as you can see here, of 4,320 square feet, which provides for 18 parking spaces. And due to the nature of the property and the retail business and our requirements, the project requirements, we do have, as I mentioned, the 50 spaces. We also have a gravel area over here for potential overflow in the future, or even, just sort of to be able to have a separate area. We do show on this plan as well snow storage, so we've tried to plan out where we can plow some snow and not be in the way. And we do show a dumpster pad right here with screening. Moving on. The property is relatively flat right now until you get towards the back of the property. So what we've tried to do is to sort of maintain a fairly level slope or a flat slope. Obviously, we need enough slope to have stormwater drain from the site. So essentially what the stormwater system is right here. It's a subsurface infiltration system. There are 50 Coltech Recharger 902 HD heavy-duty units. So those are large units. Those are 4 feet tall, and the layup lengths, so meaning when they're put together, they're 6 feet long. So we're holding back a substantial amount of volume that then is allowed to infiltrate into some good soils. So essentially what happens is we have 3 catch basins and low points on the site, here, here, and here. And we create a high point right here in the parking lot. So this water all flows to this catch basin. This water all flows to this catch basin with some of the driveway as well. And some of the driveway, and then all of this flows to this catch basin. And those are both run through water quality units here and here prior to them discharging to the subsurface system. So then that subsurface system is able to hold back enough stormwater volume that essentially this pipe here, which discharges back here, or daylights back here, only discharges in a 100-year storm. And it only discharges 0.65 CFS, cubic feet per second, at 2 feet per second because it's such a low flow. All other storms, the 2, the 10, and the 25, are infiltrated. So they're infiltrated into the ground, so they don't leave the site. So we're not going to have a large potential for outflows that are creating erosion. We hold back our volume on our site, and we infiltrate it. And again, even in a 100-year storm, it's really not anything of a significant amount of flow. So as I mentioned, we do have that grading on the site, and in order to make up the difference, if you will, between existing and proposed contours, and what I'm going to do is actually switch to it's more of a presentation plan because this isn't the official submittal, but it is the same sheet that was printed and stamped and scanned. So this is a little bit better. It's straight from CAD, if you will. So you can see the contours a little better. As you can see, the slope starts right around here and slopes down towards the wetland to the rear of the property. So what we propose to do, again, is to have a relatively flat slope on the project. So to make up the grading difference between those, we've added a retaining wall in this area here, all along here, and that will make up the difference in grade. And additionally, for vehicular safety, we've also added a guardrail along this area to protect vehicles from the retaining wall, but also any of the slope that sort of heads down towards the wetland.
Hey, Paul, we lost your picture.
You stop sharing.
Pardon?
You stop sharing your screen.
Okay.
Something, so.
I'll restart it. And see if it will go.
Okay.
We can't see whatever you're pointing at. Whenever you say here and here and here, sounds like you're pointing at something.
How long is that?
Okay, you're back on. Yep.
A while, a couple minutes.
Where did I lose you?
No, you went back off again.
Yeah, whatever you just did.
Whatever you just did, you were back on.
Okay. Am I off again?
Yeah, you are.
So meaning it's not sharing?
Correct.
Correct.
Yeah, there you
I'll
go.
try one more time.
You're there.
Don't touch.
You're there.
I won't touch anything. So you can see it now?
Yeah, we can.
So what I was saying was the existing conditions of the site, this area here slopes down towards the wetland.
You lost it again.
So in order to be,
Yeah.
we lost it?
Yeah.
We have you on screen. We can see you. We can't see the map you're showing, the plan you're showing. I'm sorry.
we got you.
Yeah, hi.
I'll try one more time.
Okay.
You got me? You got
No,
Not yet.
the plan?
no.
Black screen.
Black, yeah, there you go. All right, there's the plan.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe I was moving around too fast for it.
Yeah.
So you can see towards the rear of the property, there's a slope that heads down towards the wetland.
Yeah.
So what we've done is proposed a retaining wall, essentially to make up the difference, to allow us to have, again, that flatter site and to not have a steeper site and parking area and drive aisles. So we've done that, and we've added a guardrail around the perimeter to add a vehicular safety aspect to the project.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, good.
So those are sort of so we're talking about a retail cannabis facility, a 3,360 square foot building with 50 parking spaces in the commercial zone, essentially. So I guess what I would like to do, if you don't mind, is maybe to sort of finish my presentation, is to go through the Town of Douglas site plan review requirements, to kind of present how we meet those, and then I would let Teresa speak as well if she would like to. Does that sound good?
That sounds good.
Okay. So going through the Douglas site plan review requirements, the first is to maximize pedestrian and vehicular safety, both on-site and egressing from it. So again, I would say that, as I had just mentioned, we've essentially made it one way in and one way out. And we have a counterclockwise vehicular pattern around the building, which is typical to any site that you're having a one-way traffic flow. So I think we're trying to do that to have that vehicular safety. And then we have a sidewalk system for the pedestrian safety. And to minimize the volume of cut and fill, the number of removed trees 6-inch caliber or larger, the length of removed stone walls, the area of wetland vegetation displaced, the extent of stormwater flow increased from the site, soil erosion, and threat of air and water pollution. So again, I think and I'm just sort of summarizing from what we're saying here. You know, we're adding a retaining wall, we're trying to reduce cuts and fills as much as possible, and it's a relatively flat site, which should limit soil erosion, and we'll construct an on-site septic system, which is towards the front of the property, and we'll have an infiltration basin. So again, we're not trying to disturb more soil to build a retention pond. We've incorporated those into the developed area. Then we would minimize obstruction of scenic views from public accessible locations. So for the most part, we will have a vegetated buffer around the side and back of the site, and/or we're trying to enhance that with our landscape plan. Minimize visual intrusion by controlling the visibility of parking, storage, or other outdoor service areas viewed from public ways or premises residentially used or zoned. So the only residential, we are fairly well screened from this. There's a good amount of vegetated woods between us and where that house is. And due to the nature of the property, we obviously want high visibility. That's part of the reason we sited the building the way we did. And we've certainly tried to utilize a aesthetic building that looks nice, so that when you look at the property, that it looks nice, and we want it to look nice. So that's what we're doing there. Minimize glare from headlights and lighting intrusion and light overspill into night sky. So in terms of headlights, we're pulling out and into off of Route 16 in an area where it's essentially vacant across the street. So we're really not shining headlights, and we will have cutoff luminaires. As far as I know, I believe we do. We have cutoff luminaires on all of the lights, so we would be doing that. Provide adequate access to each structure for fire and other emergency service equipment. So essentially what we've provided is a 24-foot aisle on both sides of the building that you can get along into the back of the building. And essentially you can be on Davis Street or in these aisles to see the front of the building. So that's what we proposed, and the building will be under 24-hour security surveillance. So when the fire department will receive a key to the Knox box if they would like, which I would assume they would. So that's what we've proposed. We have not received any further comments on that from the fire department until right now. So, again, that's what we're proposing to do to allow for access to the building. Provide adequate stormwater management consistent with functional design standards and the planning board subdivision rules and regs. And I think we've proposed a very good stormwater system that infiltrates most every storm except the 100-year storm, and has water quality units to help to ensure the best water quality prior to infiltration. And we would minimize unreasonable departure from the character, materials, and scale of buildings in the vicinity as viewed from public ways. Again, and I'm going to move to this, hopefully I don't lose the screen. we're proposing a barn-style building on the site with a overhang in the front that will have posts. So I think we're proposing a very nice-looking building, and that's, you know, that we want to do that, want to have a good-looking site. And then the number 9 is minimize contamination of groundwater from on-site wastewater disposal systems or operations on the premises involving the use, storage, handling, and containment of hazardous substances. So on the on-site wastewater disposal, we have a small septic system. It's a 200 gallon per day minimum, and that will be approved by the Board of Health. So we separate a lot of that. And ensure compliance with the provisions of the zoning bylaw and other laws, including parking, loading sign, and landscape requirements. Again, through the site plan, we've proposed to do that. So, Teresa, did you have something sorry, I got long-winded there, but did you have something that you wanted to add to that?
Thank you very much, and good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
I think it was a great presentation. The building itself, we definitely designed to make sure that it fits the town. That's why it looks like a barn. We painstakingly have gone to make sure that it fits into the town. We've also made sure that the traffic pattern flows in and out the way it does, and we have as many parking spaces as possible, so that way we don't have any backup on the main road. We also had, when we went to our HCA, the police chief was there, and we also explained that something like this only has a 2 to 4 week period where people want to come in and they want to see what's going on, and it dies out. I also have my consultant online tonight who has done many of these, and he knows how that traffic flows and how it dies off after just a couple of weeks. But with that being said, we're also going to have security. The police chief was very happy to hear that we would be hiring somebody every day to be there to control traffic, to make sure we don't have any jams or backups. I also want to point out about this building that I understand it's brand new, I understand it's new coming to the town, and we do have a resident behind us. His name is Rich. He came to the community outreach and he had no qualms about what we were doing because of what we're doing and how we're keeping it like the town, making sure that it stays safe. It's going to be well lit, but it's going to be lit towards the building, not outside to disturb any neighbors. I do know there's a man by the name of Jeremy who was very concerned about the lighting and that he didn't want it being facing towards his house. Nothing's going to be facing out in the street. It's all going to be towards the building to keep everything contained on the property. I also know with the stormwater that you presented is absolutely amazing, because Jeremy was very concerned about the cold water fishery pond next door, which this should definitely suffice all his questions as to, is it filtered, is it underground, is it staying on our property? That's all been answered. The only other thing I can add is to just do what we're doing tonight and put it out and ask your questions, and I'm sure you and I can answer everything that needs to satisfy the town to get this done.
Okay, thank you, Teresa. All right, Bill?
Well, I don't know if Corey's online. He's with Leonard. We had an outside peer review consultant do a review. They've issued a letter, should be in your packet with their comment. I know they're scheduled for some soil testing for the stormwater system tomorrow. And the way we worked that was under task 4. We left for basically hourly work. I got a proposal from Leonard for the hours, let them know what the value was. They gave me a check to put into the account to cover that scope. And that's how we work. So, for example, if we get a package for review on responses to Leonard's comments, the same process would be followed. I just expedite it. I'd get a proposal from Leonard, let them know. If they didn't disagree with it, we'll take the check and then issue a notice to proceed to Leonard.
Okay. Les?
For the chair, we have, what, 23 comments or feedback?
Yeah.
Items?
Yeah.
And I think that just came out on the 10th, so.
Yeah, I think they turned it around very quickly, actually.
I just, yeah.
So I don't want to speak for Corey, and I did mean to get to this, but we obviously do have a comment letter from Corey and Leonard, and I did look through it, and I would let Corey say what he wants to say first too, but I feel like there's certainly comments that could be addressed, and depending on what the board wants to do, and again, I'd let Corey speak first, but we could go through them tonight, even if you want to. I'd move to the board, so to speak, to see what you want to do with that.
I would say let's have Corey raise the questions and then see what he has to say.
Yeah.
You got Corey on there? Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't think he's on.
Is he not on?
Corey's here.
These are just good comments.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you, Corey.
Okay. Okay, good. Corey Broder, Leonard Engineering, did the peer review. I issued the comments yesterday, and yes, we are observing the test pits tomorrow. I mean, if the applicant has any specific questions, I don't know if we need to go through all of them. If they feel like they're addressable, it's not an issue on my end, but handful of questions regarding section 5 and 9.4 of the zoning, and another handful of drainage, stormwater, and then some just standard questions, engineering practice. I don't have any, specific, I don't think there were any major questions. I'd like to just confirm the soils tomorrow, and that, because that would impact the stormwater design.
Okay. Paul, is there something specific you want to address on this?
I don't, no, not in particular. I more was, no, there isn't. I guess, I think unless the board wants to go through them at this time, I certainly feel they can be addressed quite easily on a revised set. Plans.
Let them work out the details, I would suggest. I mean, they've got to do soil testing anyway tomorrow to finalize
Yeah,
things.
we're good with that. That's
Okay.
all right. Hey, Bill?
I just have a couple.
May I interject, please?
What's that?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Go ahead.
Okay. I do know that the soil testing is supposed to be done tomorrow. And I was also looking at the fact that, we're all on the same page that this property has been approved. It was approved back in 2009. And as we stand right now, even though we turned the building, the orientation of the building is different, it is immensely smaller than what was approved back in 2009. So therefore, in looking at this project and the 23 questions that could be easily answered tonight, I know the engineer is ready for all of that, that this is basically just an update of a smaller footprint and a smaller volume of what was already approved back in 2009. So what I'm looking for is, if we're here now with all the people, why don't we just expedite this? And if we can't get through everything, rather than wait a month and then have to waste precious time bringing everybody back up to speed, that if we have to move to another date, that we do it within, if we have an earlier meeting of maybe a week or two, so that way everything's still fresh in everybody's minds. If we stretch this out another month, everything has to be all reviewed, and then we have to start all over again. And it's a lot of precious time wasted for something that was already approved back in 2009 for a much larger project. So I'm respectfully requesting that if we can't get through the 23 questions tonight and suffice everything to put it, I have conservation on Monday that's waiting for the stormwater. We need to keep everything running concurrent. What I'm asking for is that we keep this moving forward. There's much precious time and money that is being wasted as we keep pushing off when we're all here right now. That's why we have this public hearing tonight.
Ernie, may I speak or not? It's not the right time. May I speak in regard to?
Go ahead.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of professional work done here, and there seems to be an accord between both engineers that this list is, a lot of it can be handled on the drawings, can be handled in narrative form. I think they probably agreed that much of this can be achieved. And, I mean, I would be in favor, the site plan looks great to me. I mean, this is in my training. They've addressed many issues, but they've addressed 98% of the issues. I'm not Bill Cundiff, I'm not the town engineer, but I think this plan looks reasonable, and I think it's our responsibility to try to, if we think we have enough information and there is an accord of a partnership between these engineers and the client and the applicant, then I think we should, with conditions, move this thing forward.
Okay, thank you, Aaron. Bill, do you have a comment?
Yeah, so generally speaking, I respect the fact that they want to move the project forward. The few things I do want to put out there, I think we have to respect the process as well. I mean, this is a retail operation. The public is going to be going in and out of the site. We want to make sure it's designed properly and safe. That's the purpose of why we're here. We do recognize that there seems to be an urgency. I get the applicant's representatives contacting our peer review consultant directly, which I would ask that they go through me and not contact our peer review consultants directly.
Agreed. Yeah.
I think, if the designer or the reviewer has some comments, let's say they do the soil testing tomorrow on the stormwater system, and they end up having to redesign things, that's going to have an impact on what you're looking at. And what the concern is, if they do have to redesign, you've already closed the hearing and approved a plan.
Yeah, that's not going to happen tonight.
So that's number one. Number two, I just had a few general questions, and I haven't had a chance to ask Corey this, and I'm not sure because I didn't go through the drawings. I'm curious about the retaining wall height, Paul. Do you have that?
I believe it's 6.7 feet at its highest point.
Okay, so that would
Its highest point, did you see my screen?
Yep.
So
The highest point is right here, and then it stays fairly tall. It's 6 feet here, and then it starts to get shorter. It's 3.5 here as it turns around the corner, and then it returns into the ground, if you will, on both ends. It comes into the slope.
The reason I'm asking is that would require a structural design, so we should include a condition or decision to that effect. Traffic volume, did you look at that, Paul?
Not specifically.
So you don't know how many vehicles?
This is Brian, the consultant for Z&P Inc. I can answer that question more directly if it suits the purpose. We are expecting on average around 500 customers a day. Assuming that we're open 10 hours a day, we're expecting 50 customers per hour. We have 50 parking spots on the property, so we feel like we're more than adequately addressing the traffic volume that we expect.
Okay.
I have a question.
Was that information in the submittal?
In terms of the expected traffic flow,
Correct.
I do not believe so. I believe we just accounted for the parking spaces.
Okay. And this is more questions for the board. Do you think it would be prudent to erect a few no parking signs along Davis Street in this vicinity?
Certainly don't want people parking there. There's guardrails.
Definitely with Monroe Street,
So
you're
I
going to
would-
create a lot of blind spots if cars are parked on the side of the road there.
So I would suggest we have that as a condition in the decision that they erect no parking signs.
Also to the south, how about, if there's an overflow of parking, I mean, if you've got 50, based upon the volume, they just said 50 customers an hour,
Yeah.
and you got 50 spots, you're not even talking
It's
about.
100 at a time.
But you're not even talking about employees.
Yeah, that's what I want to bring up, if you don't mind, I want to jump in here. How many people are going to be working here?
On a maximum shift, about 12 employees.
All right, so your 50 just went down to 38 for parking spots, plus your security.
We estimate the amount of time it takes when you enter the front door to when you order your purchase and you actually walk out the door is on average in between 6 and 10 minutes.
Yeah, but now, how many, you just said you're gonna have a few security officers there also, right? So that's
It's
gonna be
included
another,
with staff.
so that's gonna be included with the staff?
That's included in the staff number of 12.
I don't know.
We already discussed with the police chief back in December when we obtained this HCA, that we would always have a police officer on duty there doing overtime to keep the traffic flowing. Now, one of the things about this building is, and in this business, is that it's all about proficiency. So therefore, that's why we have the building being 100 feet long with the overhang, is so people are underneath there. And outside, there's going to be a menu. And with that menu is that they're going to be able to place their order outside. From there, they go into a man trap where they check in to make sure that they're legit. And then from there, they move in, they go in another door to a pod, and all that is to pick up the product, pay for the product, and go out the other door. This is a procedure that's going to be constantly moving. It's not going to be stagnant. It's not going to stack up. It's going to be constantly moving, and because we have to be efficient and accurate. Also, with this building that you're looking to approve to make sure that everything is where it's supposed to be, you also have to remember that a lot of this stuff falls on the CCC. And we will not be able to get our license until they have a final walkthrough that tells us that, okay, this needs to be this way or this needs to be that way to keep this place efficient. So there's a whole nother level that's involved in designing this building that keeps everything secure, efficient, and the process constantly moving. And
Go ahead. I want to mention a couple things here. I drive by a shop 3 times a day in Oxford, and they have an overflow yard up the street at a trucking outfit. Especially on Fridays, there's at least 50, 60 cars alone in that one parking lot, never mind their own parking lot. So where do you anticipate putting all these cars when they show up on Friday afternoon?
the difference between that one and this one is that one's only 800 square feet, and they have nothing outside to stack the people, and they're actually renting spaces from Ron behind her building.
Yeah.
We've already taken this all into account.
Okay.
So we have enough on our property, and she doesn't have the system that we have to have these people, as soon as they walk up to the door, to be able to place their order, to go in, to present their ID, to go through the next door, to pick up their order, to go out the other door and keep going. She doesn't have the proficiency or even the POS system or the iPads that we're going to have to keep these people moving. Every day brings new technology. Every day brings new ideas to keep this stuff moving. What you're seeing down the street is nowhere near what we're going to be doing as far as keeping the process moving. And we have everything contained on her property, where she's spreading everything out around her and only has 800 square feet, and we have 3,000 square feet.
Correct, but having a larger facility can incorporate more people. So she's already packed at 800 square feet. You're going to be packed with 3,000 square feet. And if there is an overflow, what is the game plan? Is there any game plan in place?
Well, there is that. We could actually put 75 spaces on this property if that's what you want. We just left it at 50 spaces with that overflow. We did discuss that on the other side, there's a gravel overflow. So we could put up to 75 cars on this property.
Okay.
It's maybe something to look at is you have a gravel overflow area, you know what I mean? Maybe
Right,
something to look at.
highlighted, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not really laid out.
Correct. Maybe look at an overflow in the gravel area, should there be an overflow, so that way they're not queuing up on the street and they're not parking along the street. Right. That you at least have some signs, and even if it's a gravel area, this is your overflow parking with some crushed stone, and I don't think that's gonna be too bad.
if it's warranted. I mean, you don't want to have them do that if it's not
After we
warranted.
finish our
But
discussion.
just want to bring that up. I mean, the other thing I thought of was maybe adding, 6 to 7 more car spaces to the south of the property, which is on towards the Monroe Street side, extending that parking lot side on the southern, just extending that up and adding a few more spots there.
Because in reality, there's 12 employees.
Yeah.
All the parking spots on the left-hand side of the building are spoken for.
Yeah.
They're gone. Now you have also, take out the 1, 2, 3 handicap, so you just cut over 15 plus spots right out of the parking capability of the parking lot.
You have to understand also, with the more employees we have, the faster that people get through. We have 3 pods inside. The pod is where they come in and pick up their product and pay and they go. Each pod has 6 POS stations. 6 times 3, that's how many people we can service within a minute's time to get them in, pay, and out. It's going to be moving so fast that you're stating that we're going to be all stacked up with something that you see that street when we have so much more, 4 or 5 times more than what she has to keep the product moving.
I agree, but it's like the Wegmans where people browse and don't go as quick as they do with something new.
There is no browsing in this business. They have a 10-minute time period, and that's that, and everyone that comes to these places knows that's the rule, because that's a rule that's been set down by the CCC. There's people that smell it, look at it, and hang around. That's absolutely absurd. They have to know what they want before they come in, and they pay for it, and they leave. So there is no browsing. No browsing, no sitting, no nothing.
We discuss it as a group. She's going to answer for everything. We're not, I'd like to, I have a couple points, yeah.
10 minutes max, max.
I'm just going to say, on the parking, it's going to be short. I think it's going to be short. Once you counter all your employees, the whole 9 yards, and they also said there's a possibility of an addition for a garage and/or further retail space or a drive-through window or something like that on the backside. That's going to be more employees. So, I mean, it's...
I'd like to see it.
I can see it.
I mean...
I do what I've seen so far, Bill. Just traffic.
I think it'd be...
Which is good. I mean, you want the traffic, don't get me wrong, you want customers, but you need to have the space to handle it.
Yeah, I don't think we can certainly approve this tonight. We have some public safety concerns. I know, did the fire chief give his comments on
I
this?
think if you,
I don't see it in the,
did you go online?
yeah, I'm looking at it online, and I'm just seeing number 6 from Leonard
I would have put it online.
with the fire truck. I just want to make sure a fire truck can go around that building, especially considering that future garage space that's allocated.
Yeah, we definitely won't approve, Dick. We need to get the soil testing done first before we...
And I would like to see some clear signs for enter and exit as well. I'm seeing a lot of traffic coming from 146 to this location. They're gonna drive, they're gonna see an open spot in that first lot, and they're gonna try to want to get in there, opposed to the arrow. So I'd like to see some signs, clear signage for enter and exit.
There's going to be signage, and there's going to be the arrows. You see the arrows of the flow?
I see, ma'am, I see arrows. I just want to see signs.
Yeah, that's going to be on the pavement. There's going to be signs, and there isn't going to be anybody to just pick and choose where they're going to go. There is going to be security there from open to close to make sure that nobody just goes where they want to go. I don't know if you're familiar with who we are, but we also own a liquor store, a very, very successful liquor store. And as far as getting people in and out and making sure that everybody is where they're supposed to be and not stacking up and blocking the
I'm also very familiar with the clientele, ma'am, and I think clear signage would be very helpful.
Yeah.
And that's all I'm asking for, some clear signage for enter and exit.
I agree.
Okay,
Not on the ground, but vertical sign.
Yeah, like almost like you're going to a grocery store like Hannaford's. They have a sign up front, enter,
Right, you have to have
exit.
vertical signs.
Yeah.
Snow covers these, right, I get it.
Do we have on the plans, speaking of signage, do we have is on the set of plans that you've seen, Bill, is there a sign for that, what's going to be out front?
There is, and I was going to bring that up. Thank you, Les. We have a sign bylaw, and as part of this site plan review permit, the board has the authority to issue the sign permit as well. So They did show on one sheet 32 square feet. I think there were 2 signs, is my recollection, but they don't show you the contents of the sign. I don't know if you want to consider that, but that's certainly up to the board.
You know, we're done at the same time.
All the signage, I think, should be before us.
Okay, all right, Bill, to give, I mean, you started out addressing, and we got, is there anything else?
No, that was the extent of my comments.
Okay, so the soil testing will be done tomorrow?
Yes.
And I'm in agreement with you that, I mean, it's hard to move forward and approve a plan if we don't know what the soil testing is going to be and whether it's going to have to be a redesign on the stormwater management or what. So I don't see us moving forward on that tonight for sure.
Yeah.
So-
There's gonna be a lot more to this.
I would say probably if you can, do a contingency plan for the overflow. If you have space available that you can show maybe where overflow traffic could be handled, if that comes to that.
I would think it'd be in the gravel area right here.
Right.
Correct. You know, I mean, Paul, I think you've done that before, or you've seen it on other plans where there's an access point, you know, off the parking lot for the overflow in a gravel area, you know, of saying, here's the overflow, and that's maintained inside that parking lot so they can come back into the parking lot if they're parking out there. So I think that's the only thing that you gotta just consider, that or at least, you know, additional parking spots that are shown on the plan. And then I think the signage is the other thing that we need to.
What was the last thing you said? I think last, was it last?
Yeah, the overflow with the parking, if they're gonna go into a gravel area, you know, where the access point is, or show additional parking spots to the south,
Okay.
I think you're gonna need one or the other. I mean, just,
Okay.
it's not gonna hurt because it's gonna actually probably help out your turn radius with the fire truck if you can add a little spots there if he's gonna, fire truck makes that turn around the corner, if there's some parkage there. So, well, and then just the signage, I think is what we'll need to do is.
Yeah, no parking, no,
The sign and
yeah, like the no parking by Monroe Street.
Directional signage, right, directional signage.
Yeah. Just because the ones on the ground that you're showing on the plan, you know, if there's snow or bad weather, you know, they get lost.
Yeah.
Did you mention about the
Yeah,
parking?
no, I think that's good.
The turn, because they're not going to make that turn to that.
The question I have, water from Davis Street, will from Davis Street, water be entering this facility or water from the facility going on to Davis Street? I know where your catch basins are and I saw your grades, but at what point is that crown from Davis Street to your facility or vice versa on that flow? Because there's no catch basins out by your entrance and exit. Everything is further inland according to your slope. But yet, with the crown of the road and what you're planning on, how's that going to be all handled and taken care of?
Well, essentially, it would end up, there is a crown on Davis Street. So then there is a, you know, there would be a flow line along here, and it would end up in this catch basin right here.
Yeah, there's a drop inlet right there.
Perhaps, you know, in this grass area, there's on and off, but on the 2 aprons, as you can see, I'll zoom in on them, there's a slight lip.
Okay.
So you're talking just a little bit off the road, like 5 feet, I think I put it off the road, or 3 feet. There's just a little bit of an up and down so that it's not coming into the driveway.
Okay, yeah.
And then you would have, you know, like a flow along this. It may end up, like I say, in this grass area, it may end up coming onto a little bit depending on final grading or coming back on, but ultimately this all is heading towards the north, from south to north.
Yeah.
So it should be able to get into this drop inlet, which is what I would assume traditionally it did. I don't know for sure. I mean, there's a drop inlet there, so I would assume that it was therefore.
But you know what I mean, where with the entrance and the exit, as long as we're not adding more water on Davis Street, and you're putting that crown or whatever in the entrance and exit to keep it flowing into your kitchen that you're designing.
Here is what was sort of proposed, like we got that high point, so we wouldn't be, from here, it's sloped into our property. From here, we go in.
Yeah.
Paul,
The flow from the street into the property won't change. I mean, in whatever ditch, the ditch you got there.
Correct.
Yeah.
sufficient now, right? So why wouldn't it be sufficient?
Well, yeah, so, I mean, I think probably traditionally, meaning, you know, there was a site plan on this before and some work done. There probably, I'm guessing, and I don't know, but there probably was like, almost like an earth berm that ends up happening along the roadway. I don't know for sure, but I would assume that it ended up in this drop inlet.
Right.
So I don't see why it couldn't, you know, do that now, so to speak.
Right.
Like I say, it may come in and out a little bit here, in here, but you have that drop inlet that I don't know why else it would be there if it wasn't taking water from the street.
No, it's good.
Paul, where does that drop inlet? Does that just hold, or does it disbursement?
Yeah.
I'm just curious where that.
Across the street.
Across the street.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just wasn't sure.
Yeah.
Because sometimes they go through the back of.
Yeah, no, that one crosses the street and exits on the other side.
Oh, yeah.
Well, then now, so.
Yeah, it exits on the other side of the street.
You know.
Okay, that's all. Perfect.
All right.
Good.
Appreciate it.
Thanks.
All right.
So my last comment.
Yeah, go ahead, Bill.
Paul, you'll be responding in writing. I think it's easier for everyone if we have one comprehensive response to the comments that Leonard made and what was raised as questions tonight, and then I can get a price quote from Leonard to review.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, so
So can I recap exactly what we're looking for here? We're looking to show overflow parking because we have 12 employees. We're looking to have, you want to see more adequate signage, which I think we already have, but whatever, because we're already going to have arrows on the bottom and we're already going to have signs that are saying in and out. And you also want to have a contingency plan in case things go awry tomorrow with the drilling for the water. Is that what we're looking at right now, just those three things?
Fire, and all the comments through
Yeah.
LEI.
The comments that were made from Lennar Engineering and the fire truck, from the comments from the fire chief and the fire truck. Turn radius.
Yeah.
And I had a question.
We haven't received any comments about any, fire truck, but we're happy to, when the fire chief does give us comments, we're happy to look at them and do what we can do with them. But we, again, until right now, what we proposed is we have aisles right here and an aisle right here that you could basically gain access to along the entire sides of the building.
Yeah, Paul.
I don't know what else he'll want, but when we get those comments, we'll look at them.
Yeah, Paul, what I would suggest is you do a model with a truck perhaps going around that perimeter to help him issue a decision. I think it should be fairly routine, not a lot of effort. I haven't looked closely at it, so I can't really comment, but I think it should be a fairly simple exercise. The other comment I made earlier was about the traffic count. I think it's an important consideration to know the number of vehicles accessing and egressing the site.
do we have?
Would this be something this board would put forward, or more like the public safety board? Grand opening, first 2 weeks, is going to be, this parking lot's not going to handle nearly as much of that expected crowd. Would we want to have something in place where there has to be a designated off-site area with shuttling to bring customers in and out?
We can certainly issue that as a condition, but I would wait till we get some traffic data so we kind of know what we're looking at.
Because I've seen these grand openings and seen the crowds that can go.
And that should be stamped by the engineer?
Yep.
Because the proposed addition in the future, or the proposed drive-through, whatever, that's going to have to be considered once the templates are put down for the fire truck. The turnaround through there, yeah.
It's on the plan at their future garage, so.
Right, so that needs to be considered.
Our trucks need to make it around that
They
building.
need to make the turn, and they're not going to clip those corners, so. Right.
It's just, they can't just pull in and pull out.
No, they go around, yeah.
So, that's all. All right.
Okay.
Thanks, Paul.
All right, anybody else on board? Comments or questions? No? Okay, this is a public hearing. Do we have anybody in the audience that has any questions? Name and address, please.
I'm the abutter on the opposite corner of
Yeah.
Monroe Street, Route 16.
I just need name and address, please.
One of the questions I have.
No, I need your name and address for the record.
Oh, Rich Francasa, 9496 Monroe Street.
Thank you, Rich.
one of the questions I have is with that many cars coming out, that exit looks like it's less than 100 feet from Monroe Street. How's it going to affect the cars trying to pull out of Monroe Street and trying to pull out of that at the same time? And Monroe Street already has limited visibility to the left when you're trying to pull out of there. So that's one of my concerns.
Yeah.
The other concern I have is looking at that map, it doesn't look to scale. I seriously question the dimensions on that map. One of the reasons is, what is, I can't see from here, but what's the dimension from the stream to Route 16 on Monroe Street? Do they have a dimension there on that map?
Paul?
Go with the graph.
I'm not sure what, from the street to what?
So let's take the two questions one at a time. The first one, what is the distance from the intersection of Monroe to the egress from the site?
I don't have it labeled. I could try to,
You don't have to answer tonight. You can have it for the next meeting if you want. And then the second comment was, there's a question about the accuracy of the plan and questioning the distances from the stream to Davis Street, correct?
On Monroe Street, yes.
At Monroe Street.
And the reason I question is because I'm looking at the size of that building versus, the distance going across and the distance of that street. And I mean, I'm very familiar with the property. I lived there for 25 years. I don't see that kind of arc coming around with the stream. I don't see it arcing that far back.
Yeah.
I don't see the distance of them being able to turn the building that way and getting around. And I was I was in a conservation meeting when they were trying to move that back to 25-foot buffer zone. Now, they're already within 50 feet of that buffer zone. I can't see the 25 feet making that much of a difference, being that distance as far as putting the building on that dimension. So I'm questioning the accuracy of the plan itself.
That's for another board.
Okay, Paul, did you get that?
As far as the size of the building right now, it's immensely smaller than the building that was proposed here in 2009 and was approved. So I don't understand how this gentleman is trying to ask about the validity of the dimensions of something that is immensely smaller that has already been approved in 2009.
It's irrelevant.
The building is turned 90 degrees.
Well, doesn't change that.
It's irrelevant what was done back then. We're looking at what's in front of us now.
Yeah.
Back then, it's irrelevant. That's long gone. That's way in the past.
The laws have
All
changed
we
since
worry
then.
about now is what's in front of us.
So
The past is irrelevant. Just so you know.
through the chair.
Okay, with that, I'll give you that, and with that being said, we're also looking at a building that's immensely smaller. On it over, and it's 2 acres of property there. So so if we throw away 2009, I get that.
Yep.
But we're also talking about something that's so much smaller. So why would the dimensions not be valid?
So
That wasn't the question asked.
No, that wasn't, just, he wants to know the distance from Route 16 to the brook.
So just from,
No, what you really asked is the validity of the dimensions.
so through the chair.
Go ahead.
What I noticed on the plan is that, it is detailed on the plan, it's 59.9, I want to say, from the stream to the corner of the buildings being proposed. So from the streams, where the stream is to where the building is showing on the plan. That is roughly, again, I don't know if my instructor knows, but 59 feet, .9 is what they're showing from the corner of the building to the stream area. Where's the stream? So in that upper corner. Okay.
Right.
So I think the town has a bylaw that you can't build a structure within 50 feet.
Stream center line.
So that's really for the conservation to pick up. I think Paul's showing it on the plan with that little dotted line that runs through on the screen.
Yeah,
So that's it. Like,
yeah, all right, Paul, this is a stamped plan, right? The plan is a stamped plan?
Where'd you find that
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So, I mean, if it's a stamp plan, I'm going to assume that if you put your stamp on it, put your signature on it, that the measurements that are accurate. So I'm not going to question the fact that it looks like it's not to scale.
Streams.
Your name's on it, your stamp is on it, and that makes it an approved plan in my
And
opinion.
it's dotted
What was the,
on this, see this thing?
So, yeah, so
Stream.
it's not my
It is a stamp plan, yeah, all right, okay, it's a stamp plan, it's to scale, and
survey
that's,
done.
yeah, all right, thank you, Paul.
I just have one question.
Mike?
All the drawings of the building, but all of them, nothing shows its actual width and its length. You have square footage, but that's it.
It's on the floor.
30 by 100.
Yeah, that's on there.
Labeled
You're gonna go by
on
30 by 100, okay. Okay,
Yeah,
thank you.
with the 12-foot, so then the 112 comes from the 12-foot future potential.
potential,
For the
right.
Actually included that.
If that.
Shows what it could.
Could potentially be. Okay. Yeah.
all right.
All right. Yeah.
Okay, all right, anybody else on the audience have any questions?
Oh, it says on the plan, 30 by 100.
Address, please?
73 Monroe Street.
Okay, go ahead, Jeremy.
Thank you, sir, Chairman. First off, the description is incorrect of the project.
I can't
It's not
hear.
only a septic and well, it also has to do with a sand and grease interceptor. Now, I understand by the kind lady's comments that 2.09 acres. However, a significant portion of that 2.09 acres is wetland. You can't do anything with it. Now, I still do not believe you can put a well, a septic, and a sand grease interceptor on whatever's left over. I installed them in schools with a sand grease interceptor underground system without a retaining pond is huge. So I don't know how they're gonna fit it all on it. And she keeps referring back to the plan that was approved a couple of years ago. That was an agreement with this board, and you might want to go back through your files. That was when there was no pavement. It was going to be dirt. And that would be an impermeable surface. Now it's not going to be an impermeable surface. Now, I really did kind of agree that the gentleman mentioned that across the street it's this vacant agricultural pit. That's my property. That's 73 Davis Street. That's my retirement. Or I'm going to give that to my kids. It has not, I mean, this is going to affect property value. Now, remember, I own the property. I've been here since 1973, and I've been here first. And I, honestly, it's a beautiful piece of property, and now I'm gonna have a pot shop across the street. And you keep calling it a product. No, you're not selling a product. You're selling pot. You're selling drugs. All right? And I'm not a drug dealer. So, anyway, I'm very concerned about traffic because there is a dirt road across the street. And what they're going to do is they're going to buy their pot, and they're going to come down the street, and they're going to smoke their pot on my property.
Oh, my God.
Because I own the land on both sides of that dirt road. This town, and I'm worried about lighting. I'm worried I have this, I have a very unique situation where I don't have to look at lights. Unfortunately, I have to look at a light here and there at Solar Wolf, because they have their lights mounted to their house, to their building. I don't want to see this huge light from my backyard. It's a residential neighborhood. Remember, this is a pot shop. I don't care what you call it. It's a pot shop in a residential neighborhood.
You got Mr. Porter up Monroe Street, you got everybody up Monroe Street, that's residents. There is no, aside from Silver, there is no other industrial, commercial on this side of town. And I'm just very concerned about the site lighting. Now, the other thing I'm worried about is my well. I'm down stream from where this 93 Davis Street is. I'm on 63 Monroe Street. My mom's at 53 Monroe Street. You got somebody at 2 Young Street. What's going to happen to our well? Is this pot shop going to be using chemicals? I don't know. And how that all affects it. And they keep talking about water quality system. Remember, that would all have to go back to the storm water system. And there's a lot of DEP requirements about permeability out of the pipe that this thing kicks out, which is going into a cold water fishery. So I don't know how that all happens. And remember, you got a retaining wall. It appears to be about a 5-foot retaining wall. You're probably going to push all your snow over the retaining wall, and it's going to end up in the cold water fishery. And I'm worried about the dumpster. Now, the other thing is, we spend $50 billion plus in investments in our school systems, and now you got the track teams, the cross-country teams. I watch them all the time. They run up Route 16, and then they bang a left down the dirt road, the dirt portion of Monroe Street. And I love seeing them, quite frankly, but now all these kids are gonna run right by a pot shop. We invested all this money, and now we got our kids running right by a pot shop. They're gonna buy their pot, they're gonna go down the dirt road, they're gonna open them up, they're gonna put all the...
Jeremy, all right, Jeremy, you're speculating now, and I understand your comments. Do you have a question for us?
Yeah.
Okay.
What the question is how do you justify spending $50 million in taxpayers' dollars and then having all of our kids run by a pot shop?
That's not a question. I can answer that.
All right. Anything else, Jeremy?
Apparently, you don't want to talk to me, so, I mean, yeah, okay. Who's going to be monitoring turbidity out of the storm, the sand greasing the septic? And protecting our cold water fisheries?
Okay. We haven't completed the stormwater study yet, or it hasn't been approved yet. We're working on that, and that hopefully the design will take care of that problem. We're pretty strict about our stormwater management policies.
I got one last question.
Go ahead.
How's it going to affect my property value that's right across the street?
I am not a realtor, I can't answer that question. The property is zoned commercial, and it's approved for this type of business, so an applicant comes in with it, with an application for this type of business, and we look at it.
Do we know what the water table is?
We haven't completed the stormwater management study yet.
Well, the stormwater, after you do the stormwater study, you may determine that the stormwater requirement is too big to fit on the particular site.
Well, that's what we'll look at when we get the study.
And I'm worried about my well, Mr. Chairman.
Understood. We're worried about it too. That's why we do these studies.
And do they have to identify if they're dumping anything, like, you know, aside from simple cleaning stuff down the drain? Is there anything that, I mean, that would potentially contaminate the cold water fishery or my well?
There's absolutely nothing going down the drain other than normal use of employees there washing their hands, washing the floors, and using the bathrooms. Any product that we have is contained in a dumpster, and we have a specific plan from the CCC who deals with that, and nothing will get into the ground. Unless it's going to leap out of the dumpster.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
All right, Bill, anything?
No, that's it.
Okay, so you want to be on our next agenda, right? Hopefully, we can wrap almost all of this up by then. Yep.
I'm wondering if we could get an earlier meeting. I'm asking if we can get an earlier meeting instead of waiting a month, because we have extended that from the pulse of getting this all done ASAP. It's basically what we're waiting for is tomorrow to do the water, what Leonard's going to do tomorrow. Once that's done, my engineer and everyone's on board to finish this. If we wait a month, we're going to have to recap all of this, and it's so much precious time wasted.
We've already voted on our agenda for the year, and July 15th will be our next meeting.
Yeah, our agenda's already set for the year.
That's 5 weeks away. 5 weeks away.
Sure is.
Yeah.
What is it, July 15th?
July 15th.
July 15th is our next meeting, yeah.
So the other problem with that is,
Can I ask one question, Mr. Chairman?
No. Go ahead, Bill.
I just want the board to know, the other problem with trying to fit a meeting in between now and then is
Is the public notice?
we only can have one meeting, we can only have one meeting a night, and many of those nights are already taken.
Yeah.
And we'd have to coordinate that with the town clerk.
Yep.
which-
No, we're sticking to one meeting a month.
Okay.
That's, our next meeting is in July.
So the next time slot is July 15th at 7:45.
7:45?
Okay, July 15th at 7:45?
Can I request something? Is it possible for the board to make a motion to begin drafting a positive approval, a positive decision with conditions such that at that meeting, we could potentially go over that decision and any conditions and perhaps add them if necessary, but then the board would be in a much better position to sign that decision quicker after that meeting rather than waiting to start it after that meeting.
As long as Bill is okay with.
I have no problem doing that with the expectation it will be approved. If it's denied, obviously, we'll have to retool. Because I am sensitive and I'd like to expedite it to the
Yeah, I
extent
would
possible.
too,
The only thing I would encourage the applicant to do is keep the flow of communication going between the town, and I'll send it off to Leonard, get a price quote, we'll get the account established to fund the review, and if it's an iterative process, we're not waiting to the next meeting. We basically get comments, get responses, get comments. If it's 2 rounds, it's 2 rounds, so until it's all addressed.
Yeah, but there's enough runway to, in those 5 weeks, to kind of have a couple cycles to get it.
That's the idea, yeah.
Yeah,
No problem with that.
Yeah, no
So what
problem with
I'm
that.
saying is we have time to go through, which I don't think will be necessary, but we have time to go through probably 2 comment responses. So before that next meeting, if we could have.
That would be great.
That'd be great.
Potentially that night.
Yeah, well, that's all up between you guys and the town engineer, how quick you work along with it.
Yeah, that's fine, Paul. That's a great idea. Yep.
I think you know what we're looking for as a board, what we brought up here.
Yeah.
So you bring those to the table and resolve the comments.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And you,
Paul, thank you, that was an excellent request, but what we need from now until the next meeting is constant communication between everybody is right, that we're all in the loop, we're all talking all the time to get this, like you said, 2 rounds before we even get to the 15th. So by the time we get to the 15th, that draft is done and we can deal with this then. But we're only going to get to that point if we have constant communication between everyone.
Correct.
Yep. So Bill, if I would like to speak with Corey, I go through you?
Well, no, if you have, what I don't want to happen, Paul, I have no problem with the engineer contacting the engineer and them having a discussion.
Okay.
What I have a problem with is someone contacting the engineer and underscoring that they need to move quickly and get the turnaround done quickly.
Yeah, that's done.
No, what I'd like to do is after we have the testing, and I don't want to drag this out, but after we have the testing, we know the direction we're heading, I would like to talk to Corey to just go over all the responses that I'm going to do, so we're on the same page before I do them.
And I may participate in that call as well.
Yeah, keep Bill in that loop.
Yeah, get Bill in that loop. Yeah, it doesn't seem like you're too far apart on any of it. I mean, it seemed like you're pretty much
No, we're not.
So, yeah, so you guys should be able to bang that out. That shouldn't be a problem.
Comments from the fire chief ahead of time, too.
Yeah.
So we need a motion. You all set?
Yep.
I'll make a motion to
I
continue
want
the
to
public.
remind the board here, I want to remind the board, and Bill knows this, a preliminary approval based on...
Who's speaking? Who's speaking, please? Who's speaking?
That's a bad, don't want to go down that road. You can't do it.
I make a motion to continue the public hearing to 7:45 on July 15th for 93 Davis Realty Trust. Application for site plan review.
I'll second that.
Okay, motion was made by Mike Z, seconded by Les. And before we take the vote, I just want to, I was supposed to say at the beginning, let the record show that Tracy did recuse herself from this hearing.
Yes.
Okay, all right, I'll take a roll call vote. Mike?
Mike Greco, aye.
Aaron Sokrat, aye.
Les Stevens, aye.
Mike Swicker, aye.
Jake Schultzberg, aye.
All right, motion carries. So we'll continue till
July 15th at
7:45.
7:45. You want a half an hour on that, or an hour? or what?
Yeah.
45. Split the difference.
Yeah,
45 minutes?
Hopefully you guys get everything.
Thank you for your time. Appreciate it.
Write that down.
Write that down.
Thank you.
No problem.
We spent an hour tonight.
Gentlemen, thank you for everything. I'll see you on the 15th.
Thank you, Teresa.
Thank you.
Yeah, just stay in contact so we can get this ball moving faster. Thank you for everything.
Thank you for everything.
Have a
Yep.
great night.
All
Have
right.
a great night.
Yep, you too. Thank you.
Not the plan.
You staying around for my...
Yes, I get that. This is it. That from the street to the car is 100 feet. Not according to the plan.
All right, move on with our agenda.
Every day.
Move forward. All right, 7:35, Bill? Oh, 7:30, Anderson? What is?
Yeah, they have some plan edits to make, so they didn't come tonight. They'll be at the next meeting.
Okay, and we have time, there's no deadline on anything?
No deadline because of the governor's...
Because of the covenant for the,
Yeah.
yeah, okay, because of coronavirus, okay, yeah.
All
All right,
Do we have Jay?
Do we know if the conservation approved the 25-foot buffer zone?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet.
no.
They have a meeting coming up next week.
When does that mean?
We have that 7:41, Ernie.
It should be posted in the hallway.
Look at the bulletin board in the
I think they're meeting Monday, perhaps.
Oh,
Okay, I know they originally said June
Mike,
1st,
you
but
ask Tracy
No,
if
it's
she wants to
Monday,
come back in.
'cause I'm-
See if
I'm
Tracy's
at
out there, if she wants to come back in?
yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
There should be an agenda posted in the hallway.
Yeah, go down the hallway and in the glass, all the meetings are posted with all the agendas and the times.
Yeah,
to meet.
This is new coming back.
Yeah.
This is
Yeah, right,
not
isn't it?
gonna
Yeah.
happen, Tonight.
Okay.
We're going to the town of Douglas one. Jake, we're going to the town of Douglas one, right? The other one's off?
I just wanted to...
Yeah, I think that's the next one would be the
Yeah,
town of
yeah,
Douglas. All right, 7:40.
Yeah. What's happening right now is, this is the only room that all the boards can meet in right now. So it's limited to how many meetings you get per month right now? Because the other rooms are too small, we can't have that many people in one
Well,
room.
we did the first one on the Zoom, for conservation.
Yeah.
And when they continued that, I couldn't get onto the Zoom. And it wasn't-
Oh, yeah, that was the problem too at the beginning, yeah, right,
it
right.
was- I couldn't get into
Yeah.
that meeting, so I don't know what happened.
But you should be able to.
It is on the website and on,
Zoom number and all.
Okay.
yeah,
It's still off.
Yeah, that's my concern. All right, that's-
yeah, it'll be on the website, you
You
can
can also
review
call
it.
the town hall.
Welcome back.
And they'll give it as well.
Oh, did you guys already do the A&R plan?
Yes, they're not coming in tonight.
Oh, okay.
All right, thanks.
All right,
Yeah, I'll give him a call tomorrow.
Next item on the agenda.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna call anyway, but I mean, if you could have a look at that.
Is Jay on board here?
Okay. Absolutely. I don't know. He should be.
Whatever that is.
Right now, it's half.
What's that, Aaron?
Go ahead.
We're looking for Jay.
I will take care of it tomorrow.
Thank you very much.
All right, 740, Town of Douglas, Wallem Lake Road, map 236, lot 2, possible votes.
Kevin, you see Jay Telemann? Is he there somewhere, down below?
Okay, good evening, Bill
Chairman, I'm
Cundiff.
going to recuse myself. I'm just going to sit here, though.
Okay, let the record show that Tracy is recusing herself from the hearing.
Just to be sure.
Yeah.
We really need it.
I should have gone home.
Unless he's
there's not much
under
left after
anonymous,
this.
I don't see one.
You want to call him, Bill, so we get this knocked
I
out?
just texted him.
Okay.
I did send him a notice earlier tonight. Okay, so we started
it.
talking about this last meeting.
Yep.
This is property owned by the town. It's roughly 10 acres, I think, on Long Lake Road. And the town wants to subdivide it and then subsequently put it out for auction. So we're creating 3 lots. There was a question at the last meeting about the title. I don't think that's pertinent to this board because, you know, the town's records show it's a town-owned property.
Right.
And in your packet, I did include a title that the town had done. So that information is in your packet, even though it's not really in your scope. So we have plans stamped by a surveyor, it has adequate frontage and area for each of the lots, and this is also a lot frontage exception lot. So I need 2 votes on that.
All right, so it's a pretty straightforward plan.
One for the lot frontage exception, one for the A&R.
Okay, well, I would thought you would just do one there.
What's the second one?
Any questions on it?
First one?
Someone want to make a motion?
So we need a motion to endorse the A&R plan for, let's see here, we have, for the town of Douglas, Wallem Lake Road, map 236, lot 2, correct?
Yep.
Lot 2?
Yep.
Yep, so do one at a time, or?
Do one at a time.
Yeah.
That'd be fine.
So I made a motion to endorse.
Excuse me, I thought we were going to talk about this.
Did somebody second it?
I'll second it.
All right, motion made by Mike Z, seconded by Jake.
Are we talking about this or what?
What's the,
Just at the last meeting, we did ask that the attorney would speak to us.
Yeah, we
I mean,
did.
it's fine. I mean, I just thought that would clear that up, but.
Ernie, may I talk?
yeah, we did request some input.
Yeah, all right, go ahead, Lou, I'll give you a minute to speak.
I got a title here that this title, there's no insurance company here. I want to see an insurance stamp on your title, like I have on mine. I want to see that if you're wrong, someone's got to pay, like I got on mine. Don't give me, I got a piece of paper here, and I believe everyone believes it's great, but I'll tell you something, it's nothing. I could have went to kindergarten and got one of these. I gotta get, like you do when you buy a piece of property. And unless you buy property, do you get an insurance stamp?
So,
So the
we
board,
have an
No,
A&R
no.
in front of us?
Well, not, if you have a question, you can ask the
Okay.
chairman, and then we'll go through
Okay,
there.
I'm saying that they got a title, but they don't have a title. They got a piece of paper written up by a title company with no insurance stamp. I want to see an insurance stamp. I think we should continue this meeting till we can get a hold of this guy who gave it to us. I don't even know who the hell it is, Google Title Company, but I want to see an insurance stamp saying that, hey, listen, I'm telling you that's your land. And if it's your land that's wrong, you know, someone has to pay. And that's how Douglas always gets in trouble. Someone has to pay, and there's no stamp on it. There's no insurance company.
Okay.
Now, I think we should continue this meeting until somebody can get one.
If I may, through the chair, I've already made a motion.
Yeah, motion has been made and seconded.
Seconded.
And we're not going to continue. This is, the legality of all this, Louis, is not this board's issue. We look at the plan, we look at the lines, we look at the frontage. If it meets all the qualifications that is required for an A&R plan, then we approve it. If there's anything legally involved, if somebody's saying it's their land or that, it's not their land, or it's my land, it's not his land, that's handled beyond the scope of this board.
Okay, listen, I'll go along with anything you guys want to do, but I'll tell you something. Okay, don't tell me this is a title. It's a title company. There's no insurance company, no money tied to this piece of paper.
Okay,
You know what that means to me? It's nothing.
okay.
But go right ahead, do your vote and everything else, because one day I'll have a payday, and when I do, I like that smirk though. Come on, you know, Dan, you know me.
Lou?
This is,
All right, thank you. Lou.
Can I just make a,
Yeah, go ahead.
just assistance for Lou? So these guys are gonna vote on that part of it. Your concerns, this is gonna end up getting bubbled back up to the Board of Selectmen in order for us to take action. That's, come into our meetings when we do that, Lou, and I'll be happy to sit
yes,
down
I
and
have
we'll
only
address
one
that.
thing to say. They tried this 4 years ago. I went to the auction, I stood at the auction, the guy bid it, okay? I gave him my papers, he had his lawyer, I gave his lawyer my papers, everyone got it, and the guy got his money back. Because the title company had no teeth. When you want to sell insurance, you know, it's like death insurance. You die, they gotta pay. All right,
All right. Thank you, Lou.
okay.
Thank you for your comments. All right, motion made by Mike Z, seconded by Les. All right, roll call vote.
I seconded it.
Oh, Jake, I'm sorry, seconded by Jake. Okay, Mike,
What is the motion?
to approve,
To endorse the A and R.
to endorse the A and R.
Just
Yep.
endorsing the A and R.
Mike Greco, aye.
Aaron Sokrat, aye.
Most of the time.
Mike Swicker, aye.
Jake Schultzberg, aye.
Okay, motion carries.
Now we need a motion, or is...
To
Second,
approve the
yeah.
lot frontage exception.
Yeah,
Want to make a motion to endorse it?
yes,
To endorse-
Approve.
approve, I'm sorry, yeah.
Lot frontage exception for, is it going to be on the lot too also?
Yes.
Second.
Motion made by Mike Z, seconded by Jake. All right, roll call vote.
Mike Greco, aye.
Aaron Sokrat, aye.
Most of the time.
Mike Swicker, aye.
Jake Schultzberg, aye.
The motion carries. All right, thank you, everybody. Tracy coming back in now?
Thank you.
All right. Next one is the public hearing. Continued, William Sterrick, application for an accessory apartment special permit, 12 Parker Road, possible vote. Have we gotten anything from them, Bill?
Maria's verbally spoken to Mrs. Sterrick.
Okay.
And requested that we get an extension request in writing with a status update on their progress, and we have not received that, so.
All right, we got two roads we can go down here. We can close this public hearing with no finding, because lack of information.
Well, I think you'd have to act on it. It'd either be.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's like, yeah.
Yeah.
I think we just.
Or we can continue it for one more meeting.
Okay.
And see if we get a response. If we don't get a response by the next meeting, I'm going to suggest that we,
I mean,
yeah.
they're aware that we're
Yes,
waiting for this
yes.
meeting after meeting, right?
It's up to the board. You want to go one more meeting on it, or?
One more. And then that's it.
All right.
I mean, if they
I'll go with the
come back, they
consensus.
can Waive the filing.
Yeah, we can,
Yes.
yeah, we'll waive
So that
the,
would be part
we'll waive the
of
fee
our
if they come back. but-
decision. They would still have to
One more
pay
month,
for
Bill?
the-
Sure.
All right. If they don't hear nothing by next month, then we're gonna,
So it'd be continued to July 15th
Yeah.
at 8:30.
yeah. If we don't hear anything, we're gonna vote on it and close the public hearing and be done with it.
Continued to when? Next meeting?
July 15th at 8:30.
Make a motion to continue the public hearing for William Stark to July 15th at 7:30?
8:30.
8:30?
Yeah, motion made by Tracy,
Second that.
second by Mike Z. Roll call vote.
Tracy Sharkey, aye.
Mike Greco, aye.
Aaron Sokrat, aye.
Most of the time.
Jake,
Swicker, aye.
Jake Schultzberg, aye.
Motion carries. All right, public hearing continued. BWC Whiten Reservoir LLC.
No, this is two.
Shade tree permit.
It's also online.
Mr. Chairman, for the next, for Whiting Reservoir, I recuse myself.
Not talking to me.
Okay, let the record show that Mike Z is recusing himself.
I don't even.
Great.
Bill, do we have anybody from
Which one are we on?
The solar project up on Oak Street.
Oak Street.
Yeah, is Jeffrey up here?
Good job.
Oh, there's Jeff. Okay. Hi, Jeff. We have no sound.
It's not on our end, because he's not muted.
I could start.
You sent him a note?
Can you hear us?
I couldn't.
It looks
hear
like he
him.
doesn't look like he's hearing us.
It's a screen, he's on screen share, right?
Oh, he just
Screen
said
share
for a
only.
minute. He said no sound.
He might have double muted himself.
Yeah.
Are we on 7:45 or are we on 7:50?
7:50, we just continued that.
Pin it down. Happened was, I think.
We're on 9:34.
Can everybody hear me now?
Oh, yeah. Yes, yay.
All right, there we go. I think I must have had my thing on mute for too long or something. Okay, so just to give the board a quick update. So I don't know if Bill provided any update while I was trying to reconnect, but this past Tuesday, June 9th, we received Bill's letter with updated comments on the previous responses we had provided in our letter dated March 10th. In Bill's comment letter, he went through all the items that we had previously responded to. The vast majority of those items were addressed. However, there were a few ones that I think he was looking for some additional information or clarification on, just things that were, we're pointing out some things on the site plans in particular, where we're proposing, the only site light, which was a motion light at the equipment pad. There was a note on sheet, C, it's, I think 401, the layout of materials sheet. And then a number of other kind of administrative type items. And I don't know if you want me to go through those in detail. I know, Bill, you certainly have an opportunity to go through that yourself. And then there were some additional comments that Bill added, kind of building upon, the remarks discussed last time, just on the section 5, items of the zoning bylaw. So he had added some additional comments there that we provided written responses to, the ones that we felt, were applicable to our project. And there were a few items in particular that, either didn't really apply to our project. So we have requested waivers from certain sections from section 5 of the zoning bylaw, which was, we've added or submitted an updated waiver request letter on top of the ones that we had previously submitted. So those waiver requests were specifically with regards to the shared parking section, which was for facilities, that, like a building, for example, that would have multiple tenants and a shared parking lot. We explained that our project is a solar use and an agriculture use. However, these uses don't require specific long-term or a specific number of parking spaces in order for them to operate, and that there's ample space within the facility for the long-term maintenance and agriculture operations for any vehicles that may enter beyond the temporary construction period, where we do have these temporary lots proposed are more enough to accommodate construction traffic and vehicles. And then the other section that we were requesting a waiver from was section 5.1.4, the parking standards, which again applies to typical formal parking lots associated with a facility. So those additional requests have been added to that letter. I'm not sure if the board received a copy of that.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So everybody has the letter in front of them. I don't know if you want me to run through the list of those right now, if that would be helpful.
Mr. Chairman, I would suggest I take a moment, go through the letter, and this just came in late today. So since they have already got us still work with Paracorp on the stormwater, that, while they're doing that, I'll review the letter, and then if necessary, we'll go back and forth. Otherwise, it'll be all
in the next
set.
meeting, yeah, okay. That good, Jeff?
It's just getting late, that's all.
Yeah, That good, Jeff?
Yeah, and I understand. I do want to mention that we also issued revised site plans, and there is one change specific. Most of them were just changes we had talked about at previous meetings, so I'll quickly kind of just run through those. So there was a driveway that needed to be added to the plan for 54 Oak Street, which was that one, kind of right across from our site entrance. That has been completed. We added we shifted the emergency spillway for Basin 3, which is the one at kind of the southeast corner of the site. That was something that we mentioned was in a response to a comment from the eastern abutter there, just to ensure that any stormwater is being directed, away from their trail and their house, which is, down gradient of that area. So now by relocating this spillway, it's moving it well clear of that location. And then the other stuff was just things that I think, Bill, you commented on in our discussions, just adding some more labeling to say no contractor parking along Oak Street, and riprap swale crossings for the basin access routes, because a few of them, in order to get to the basin outlet, you had to kind of cross a swale to get to that point. So I don't know if the board wants to see those changes. And the last thing that I do want to talk about a little bit more is that, so we had originally proposed a 7-foot-high chain link perimeter fence around the project, which is, typical for ground-mounted solar projects. However, being as this is a dual-use solar project, it's going to have the agricultural aspect and function. In order to be able to keep livestock within this area, we're proposing to change the perimeter fence from the 7-foot-high chain link to a 6.5-foot-high farm fence, which will consist of cedar posts and tied wire mesh, as well as electrified wires on the interior side, so that the animals will be contained within that area that they're looking to have. I'd be happy to show a detail or things on the plans if that's possible.
I didn't hear anything about
Yeah,
this.
that's fine.
What's with the animals?
So that's not on the current revised set that you sent over, Jeff?
It is on the revised set that we sent over. I don't know if it's possible to share the screens or.
Yeah,
They'll have concerts too.
Kevin can just tell you how to do it.
I can't share the content off of the URL.
No. He has the ability to share
Oh.
from his screen.
Yeah, if you look down on the bottom of your screen, you should see controls, where it's
Yep.
like, you should see the share screen option. As soon as you do that, it'll drop your content up.
Yeah, I'll take a look. I have multiple monitors, but I'll see if I can hopefully get it to go to the one that isn't you guys.
If you have multiple monitors, the software actually, the website that you're logged into will detect that, and it will tell you which monitor you want to use. You can pick.
All right, looks like we got the plan up, right? Everybody see that?
Yeah, there you go.
Excellent. All right. So yeah, basically this is the layout and material plan. So the changes that we were calling out were, these call outs here. Instead of the chain link fence, we changed the symbol just to this round kind of, symbol versus the little X for the chain link, and we kind of updated the labeling accordingly on the plan there. So probably just.
Yeah, because then they need stalls for animals and
So
structures.
it's the same general location, it's the same exact location that we were proposing for the chain link perimeter fence, which is going to encircle the entire array. So you'll see it kind of runs along that perimeter here and then comes back around to the gate at this location. And I just typed that in. We had just, worked up some details to try to illustrate it. It's basically, a 6.5-foot-high fence with counting the top wire. So it's basically the wooden cedar posts here, and then this high tensile fixed knot wire fencing, which is going to be stapled to the posts along the outside. And then we've got these electrified wires kind of on the interior side for livestock containment.
Can we ask a question, please, if I may? Because we've been wondering about this. So you're going to be harboring, growing, having livestock. Do you have outbuildings for them, places for them to live? What are you talking about? Because we didn't hear any of this before about livestock.
Yeah, I think the initial use or the current use of that area was for hay.
Or plants or
Agriculture.
It was supposed to be underneath the,
Underneath.
yeah, they were 10 feet high or.
agriculture.
Agricultural use and stuff like that. So this is just a change in
Which it
change in
comes
direction a little bit for us.
What?
So if you can just help us get over that hurdle.
Hey everyone, this is Matt from Blue Wave. Can you guys hear me?
Yep.
Okay, great, thanks. Yeah, so we've actually been in conversation with a couple of potential farmers for this site, and while the majority of the interest is still about crop growth here, we just wanted to make sure that we weren't putting in any infrastructure that wouldn't be amenable to, you know, potential shift in direction if they did kind to go a different route, because, you know, it's 20 years is a long time, and we just don't want to restrict ourselves if the plan does change.
Okay. All right. Yeah, no, just because I think we missed something a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, there's going to be structures for living quarters, there's waste management of these animals, or whatever you have, and water, and also shade, and there's a lot to it. I
It
mean,
could be
it's
under
different.
the solar panels.
Right, right. I mean.
No, but absolutely, that's an excellent problem.
I mean, how to swallow the agriculture part first.
The agricultural finalized plan would have to come in front of the board if there were any additions, such as like a structure requirement or something like that.
I don't, you know, through the chair to Bill, maybe you add in another page to your plan if you plan on having livestock there. So you have a use page and saying, hey, if I do livestock, this is in this page. We do just
water, waste,
you know,
living quarters, things like that.
So that's to him.
Yeah, I just,
Yeah.
It might be something you want to consider is adding a second page for that livestock use, you know, and then your agricultural use in this plan packet. That way there you can get them both approved at the same time, no matter what usage you're going to do over the 20 years.
And do you plan on having the public visit? I mean, is this turning into a, you know, fine, public farm? I mean, is it going to be a country store there, or what's happening with that?
No, there's not an expectation for it to be like a retail type location or anything like that. It's just that there would be potential farmers with other interests in mind, but we just wanted to not limit ourselves on who we could accommodate.
Nope, fair enough. I would just add a page to the plan for the other use.
Just wanted to know.
Yeah, we'd be happy to show how that would work out spatially. Sure thing.
Yeah.
That good with you, Bill? Just another page showing that? Yeah? Okay.
Yep. That's up to him.
Big farm.
It's up to you guys.
Okay.
Okay.
Do you want to do this 8:35?
What's that?
8:35 on July 15th?
Yep.
You're okay with us continuing to the next meeting?
Yeah.
Jeff, is that good? Do you have anything else to present before we decide?
No, I think we talked through everything that we wanted to talk through. Obviously, as Bill noted, he's gonna take a look through our responses, and we'll be looking forward to receiving the stormwater review from PAR so that we can hopefully work to address those ahead of that July hearing, ideally.
That'd be great. Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
Bill, any comments, questions?
Sounds good.
You have a question.
Go ahead, Mike.
There are apparently 3 parts to this, 3 permits.
Yes, yes, there are.
Okay, so this, whatever we do encompasses them.
Yeah, right. Okay, correct.
I think you just got to talk to the Board of Health about if you go with a cow use.
Yeah, farming is farming is different. Yeah,
Area and acreages.
that's different than our board. Yeah, yeah. They can.
Incorporate it in the plan.
Yeah, they can incorporate it into the plans, but it would deal with Board of Health after that. Yeah. Bill, anything?
Nope.
Okay. So,
Audience.
Trace?
Audience?
Yeah. Oh, anybody in the audience have any comments or questions? Anything, Kevin? No. All right.
I'll make a motion to continue the public hearing for BWC Whiting Reservoir LLC to July 15th at 8:35 PM.
Second that.
Motion made by Tracy, seconded by Aaron. Roll call vote.
Tracy Sharkey, aye.
Mike Greco, aye.
Aaron Sokrat, aye.
Bill Stevens, aye.
Abstention from,
Jake Schultzberg, aye.
okay, and Mike has recused himself. Mike Z
Yeah,
recused himself.
yeah.
All right, motion carries. Thank you. We'll see you next meeting.
Thanks, Jeff.
Okay.
I'm back.
And Mike is back.
Take care.
All right.
Discussion with Mr. Heaney.
All right, additional business.
Gilboa Street.
Future
rezoning
meetings,
thing.
we all know when those are. All right, discussion. Dan Heaney, 56 U Street, possible vote. I'm not sure if we voted on anything, but I'm not sure.
I gotta fix that.
I've got regular work
It
to
says
do.
possible votes on everything.
Yeah, we put that there for, yeah.
It's not necessary. It's not.
Yeah, I know it isn't, but you know why. All right, Bill, you want to do Dan next?
What, I don't have my agenda.
Yeah, it's the,
Whoever's up.
Dan,
Yeah,
you're up.
Dan and then Bob. Sorry, Bob.
Mr. Chairman, can you hear me? This is Mike Dryden talking.
Mike is engineer representing me from Allen Engineering.
Oh, okay, all right.
Yeah, we got you.
We see this.
Can everyone hear me?
Yep, we can hear you.
Great, great. Good evening to all, and thank you for getting us on the agenda tonight. And I know you've had a very long evening, so we'll be very brief. My name is Mike Dryden, Senior Project Manager with Allen Engineering, of course, representing Dan Heaney. And the purpose of the meeting is to just seek some informal feedback from the board this evening for a property located at 56 U Street. It's on the east side of U Street. And if I could share my screen, I can show you the site very quickly. What's that?
Some large plans.
If I have the capability to do that.
You should have it, it should sit right down on the bottom of your screen, if you're logged in on the web. If you look down towards the bottom, you should see an option that says share screen.
I do see it, but for some reason, I'm not able to. Let me try this. Can you see that?
Yep.
That's your screen.
This is the existing site. North is generally straight up the page, slightly reflected to the right. This is
There you go,
Street
yep.
here. Oh, can you see it, everyone?
Yep, we can.
Yeah, what is that, Windows 95, Mike?
Okay. The site is about 26 and a half acres. It's located within the rural agricultural district. Just surrounding uses, the trunk line trail, of course, along the northern boundary of the property. And then to the east, south, and west are sort of sparse residential property. Again, it's 27 and a half acres, about 190 feet of frontage in this location. And you can see there's a wetland area in the back of the site. There are two small wetland areas in this location. And we've been working with Mr. Heaney for almost a year now in developing a definitive subdivision plan for this site. And that plan I'll bring up next. It's a 9-lot subdivision. Can you all see that?
In second, floating, there you go, yep.
Yep.
It's a 9-lot subdivision with a dead-end road of about 1,400 feet in length. Of course, your stormwater management facilities and all of your utility infrastructure. This plan has been brought to literally almost 100% completion and is essentially ready to be submitted. However, we were recently contacted by Mr. Heaney
Here we go.
to explore potential other options. And what I mean by that is the reduced frontage plan, or section 4.3 of the bylaw, which I guess is technically called lot frontage exception. And when you go to that plan next, this is a concept plan. Same site, same orientation. Rather than the 9-lot subdivision, he is currently contemplating 2 lots under the provisions of section 4.3. And you see there's a lot line that runs down the center of the property. We end up with 2 large lots, one of about 13 acres, one of about 14 acres. And this plan complies with all the dimensional requirements. The one thing that we wanted to discuss with the board this evening is the way that it reads, and let me zoom right into this note here, with too much. So right at the bottom, you'll see only one reduced frontage lot may be created from a property. However, the planning board may approve one additional frontage lot upon a determination that such approval will not derogate from the purpose of the zoning bylaw and will result in the responsible development of the subject property. So again, we have been working on that 9-lot subdivision plan, but the current thinking is to do something more
in line with what you see on your screen now, which is two, sort of a state lot, if you will. And because there's that caveat in the bylaw, we just wanted to sort of get some initial feedback from the board to make sure that you were comfortable with these two lots. Again, based on the note that I just read.
So in your
And I know
packet,
you're seeing this for the first time, so.
so in your packet, I included the excerpt from the regulations. And I think the section Mike's talking about is 435. Is that right, Mike?
I just had it in my notes as 4.3, it could be 4.35. Section 4.3 is the lot frontage exception, and then there's.
Yeah, so we're looking at subsection 435, so,
Which I don't have 4.
and I'll read the whole thing, sorry.
Go ahead.
Okay. It says 435 limits. Not more than one rear lot shall be created from a property or set of contiguous properties held in common ownership as of May 17, 2005. Documentation to this effect shall be submitted to the building inspector. The building inspector shall not issue a building permit for any rear lot without first consulting with the planning board to verify compliance with this provision. No lot having less than the normally required frontage shall be endorsed by the planning board if it abuts another such lot, except that the planning board may approve one and only one such abutting lot if it determines that such approval will not derogate from the purpose of the zoning bylaw and will result in responsible development of the subject property. The planning board shall not, under any circumstance, endorse any plan as approved for reduced lot frontage where endorsement of such a plan would create more than two contiguous reduced frontage lots.
It's pretty clear. Go ahead, Dan.
Yeah, if I could just, Mike did a good presentation there. The situation is, we've been working for, like you said, about a year on a 9-lot subdivision here. And actually, it's pretty close to being ready to submit. And then I was approached by some people with equestrian interest. And they were looking for a large parcel, et cetera. So if I could get 2 lots out of this, that would make me whole. Otherwise, the only other option is to go with the 9-lot subdivision. So I don't want to get into serious discussions with these people about you know, two pork chop lots, whatever you want to call them.
You can't look at zoning.
If the board's not on
If you
on
think
board
it
with
meets
that.
it, that's a whole
So,
different thing.
you know, and if the board isn't, then, you know, we'll go with our original plan. And I still have no guarantees that with my prospective customers for the estate size lots, that this is going to happen.
Right.
But there's no sense of me moving forward with them if it's not an option. I just want to find out if it's an option or not, because
Definitely a better product.
I'd rather see 2 houses than 9.
We all do.
I mean, the only question I have, Bill, on the lot front exemption lots, don't we have to have the circle to show that?
Yeah, that's a
I mean, I know
concept,
there's
you know,
more
we'll
than enough room
get,
there.
we'll go through the details when they actually file.
Okay. I mean, I'm game for 2.
The bylaw allows for that wiggle.
Yeah, okay, Bill,
So-
I want to understand this one. So they can have one lot and create only one additional.
Additional, not more than 2.
Can't
If you think it's a good use of the property,
Right.
that's the hook.
Yeah.
And I think having horses or whatever back there is,
Especially near the trail.
that's what it's all about out here.
again, I have no guarantee it'll work. There's no sense of me having this discussion with a potential customer if
If
it's
it
not an
can't,
option.
right, right. Right, so,
But with the person that has the, like, 80 feet of frontage, would they be able to re-split that again?
No.
Why?
Under lot frontage exception, you can't further subdivide.
But if it's a different owner?
Doesn't matter.
It wouldn't make any
It's once and
difference.
done. Once that plan gets
It's after
recorded.
2005.
Oh, okay.
That's, you have a cutoff
Well,
date.
that's a good one, too, 2005. yeah.
So. Yep.
Yeah, that would be finite.
And that could also, well, yeah, it can't be done, so.
You know, and along those lines, I would encourage the board to consider a zoning bylaw change for this section. If you agree with that condition, we should really get a covenant to that effect that gets recorded with the plan.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree, where it can't be further.
Right.
Yeah. Or could we, I know you can't condition an A&R and stuff, but could it be on the print where it can no longer be subdivided?
Yeah, this is.
There's, I mean, that holds some weight.
Yeah, that doesn't, yeah. You can put it on there, but, yeah.
And I agree with you. If you were to get something written up, or we could use some lawyer time and have that written up to add to our.
But in this case, it does say 2005.
Right.
Which is.
But in the same bill, for further down the road.
Yeah, further down the road.
It would be nice to have, and where it's fresh in our mind right now because of this.
Yeah.
Maybe if possible.
Yeah, I don't think it's a
something
big
for us to
deal.
look at.
It was sentence, I think, in the bylaw, that's
Yeah.
all. Yep.
And ask Jay if that's okay, and if so, then we can take a vote on it. And
Yep.
If we're
maybe
gonna,
get to town
No,
meeting.
yeah, it would have to go to
if
town
we're gonna
meeting.
deviate a little, you know.
So, board, what's your
should we
feeling?
both equal?
Oh, I'm sorry, Aaron.
Oh, I'm sorry, I misspoke.
No,
I
go ahead.
said, in this case, since we're entertaining this, should he make both of these lot frontage exceptions equal? I mean, doesn't matter either way. Equal.
He's got wetlands in the front.
Right.
On the
Yeah,
one
okay.
side,
Oh, yeah,
that's
you need more
why.
room there, okay.
Yeah, that doesn't
Good.
matter.
I mean, yeah.
I'd rather this.
I'm gonna say, I have no problem with it.
Yeah, it's
I don't think the two.
Yeah, just a consensus.
That's all.
Okay.
Everybody wants to come to Douglas.
Those would be two really good
Okay,
lots.
so, board, we can give our consent that we
Yeah.
would in,
Not consent.
not consent, no, we are in, yeah.
We like the idea.
We like the idea.
We like the idea, yeah.
Okay, so, yeah.
Thanks for sticking it out.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, so, all right,
All right, sounds good.
all right.
Thanks, Mike.
Yep, thanks, Mike.
Thanks very much.
And Bob's next, and he just left the room.
We can get started
future
while he's out.
Yep,
So Economic Development Committee has a request for a zoning change. So in your packet, you should have a color thing.
yeah,
Back of it.
Yeah, so the front side's the explanation and the back side's the zoning, proposed zoning
Yep.
change. So it's south side of Gilboa Street, so if you come up North Street over the bridge, you take a right past the residential house, there's a vacant parcel.
Yeah.
That's where they want to rezone.
Oh,
In between
so
that and where the.
envelope is here,
Yeah,
and then there's the parking lot.
It's all floodplain.
Two houses, and then right after that.
correct.
Oh, yeah.
I want someone to go in there.
Bob, you're up.
you're up, Bob.
The minute you're up, you leave the room.
Are you going to? Who's sponsoring it?
The,
EDC?
yeah,
Or
EDC,
selectmen?
yeah, EDC.
Oh, you want me up there?
You can go ahead. But I'm gonna back up.
Oh, they have to present it.
Yeah.
Sure.
Is it
Yeah, go ahead,
floodplain over there?
I just gave an explanation. So if you want to talk about the reasoning,
The reasoning behind this, the EDC has been approached by 3 separate entities to do something on Gilboa Street. As you can see, the north side is all commercial, the south side is all RA. And if we could just have a mirror image of commercial on both sides of Gilboa, it would help the EDC to at least approach some of these companies. The first company that approached us was a car wash, which was kind of intriguing because we don't have a car wash in Douglas. We couldn't put it anywhere. Nobody wanted to sell their land. This 45.1 would have been a perfect spot. There's an electrical easement on it. You could have easily put car lanes on it, put the car wash off to the side. But it's RA, not allowed. We had a cannabis cultivator and a cannabis retailer approach us for the same property. Again, not allowed. So we're proposing to rezone this to commercial, to be on both sides of the street. We rezoned the acreage behind Granion Tech last year, and that worked out very well. That is coming back to help us right now.
So you're talking about the left-hand side of the road?
Yes. It's as you're
Going out of town? You're talking about
going
you're
out
talking
of
about the
town,
right hand?
on the
to
right.
The right.
Off to the right.
Is it the
Okay,
office
yeah.
park back there?
No, there's
There's
nothing.
nothing.
back there.
And-
This is the
Last year's.
map pond,
Okay.
right across from the envelope company.
Out of town.
Yeah, but that,
Oh, right across.
On what
the
road?
Oil Company?
No, way
well,
before
no,
that.
it's as soon as you go over the bridge, you
Yeah.
take
Take a right.
take a right, and it's right after
That's
the
the
first, there's a
residential
house
house
right
that's right
there,
there.
and it's all that land after that,
Okay, yeah.
There's a couple like
Going-
signs
going-
that,
Going to the parking lot.
going towards the parking lot. But
Yes.
just a quick question, Bob. I mean, you want to try to develop that side of the road, you're saying?
Yes.
You know, have they, that's all floodplain over there from the river. So
It would be the same elevation as the road.
it's, well, it drops way down, and then all of that, there used to be one big field down there, and people have tried to build down there before, and it's all floodplain, so then we've never been able to
Yeah,
do
the
anything
whole
down there.
portion, but I'm talking the portion right next to the road. A car wash does not take up much room. You can have
Okay.
it right on the edge of the road.
Yeah, no, I'm just, yeah,
They'll have an engineer.
yeah. Oh, yeah, no, that's fine, I just wanted to know, make sure you were aware that there's a huge floodplain
The
there.
last guy who tried to build down there, don't you? He came back one day and the whole foundation was gone, sunk. And that was a good friend of mine, Skip Kibbe. Right? You know what I'm talking about? Les? Right on the right-hand side. They put it in there and matter of fact, you told him, don't put it there. You told him, don't put it there. And he said to me, you think he knows what he's talking about? I said, I don't know. I said, what the hell?
No, you said no, he doesn't.
No, I did not. I said, I don't know. What happened to the foundation?
Right around,
It
yeah,
sucked.
17, 18.
It sucked. That's where that road, little thing going in, right? And then he said to me, well, poor Skip, God rest his soul. He said, you know, what do you think happened? What do I think happened? Everyone said, don't put it there.
Out of town, yeah.
And you put it there. That, like Tracy said, that whole piece of land is underwater there, you know what she's talking about, Mike?
That's why they make piles.
Huh?
Drive piles in.
Want to change a residential to commercial who's already living there.
She might go back in.
Hell, she's gonna run to the freeway to fire out there. Car wash.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
You just drive
I agree.
You go by Goodman's house.
Now, the town of Douglas owns the corner piece.
Yeah, that's not gonna
No
be
parking lot.
ideal for anything other than a pump station.
Well, why
Like, this is water pumping.
the new bridge, the new bridge.
Right.
So, what do you want me to do?
No, I mean,
What?
To Ernie's point,
Oh, yeah.
did you take a look at that? Is that all wetland?
It's been some challenges.
Like it's on, the whole entire
There is a lot
parcel's
of
green.
Oh, yes, there is a lot of wetlands on there.
It's up to the road.
Not in that part.
So, well, yeah, I don't know that that's
This
necessarily
is
accurate.
GIS, this is all over GIS.
It's that same area that had all the fill that.
We would have to look at the FEMA floodplain and then map wetlands, but there is a small area in the front. I mean,
I'll put the layer on for.
let me put it this way, what's the harm in doing it?
No, God, there's no
I
harm.
think we're,
Oh,
we
yeah.
go forward with it.
There's no harm.
if somebody wants to develop it,
I'm-
there's ways of doing things.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm fully in favor of it. Yeah.
The only thing I asked Bob, through the chair, was
Yeah.
just if he discussed it with the neighbor,
Number 18.
number 18 that's there, because
Maybe we hold off and you have a conversation with the neighbor.
I'll approach that neighbor and see if they want to join. They might be in the process.
is there any way of
It's 18
extending
and,
this down to that parking lot? I don't even know if our parking lot
and,
across the street from the envelope company is zoned RA. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I think that's
No,
industrial.
That's all industrial.
Okay,
And oddly, the part that's lighter is just the river.
okay.
Right, that's just a
and then this is right.
extension of land, parking lot per se. We didn't want to touch that.
Okay, cool.
We wanted to keep that industrial because of the building.
Yeah.
So would you like us to wait and have a conversation?
Yeah, we could postpone this to the next meeting to, check around 18.
You got that spot right there.
So I mean, like,
So much.
yeah, just to get some feedback maybe from them.
I mean, because if that person already has commercial across the street, and they got a commercial next door, you don't want to spot zone them being residential only by themselves.
Especially when the town owns the corner too.
Yeah,
So everybody's stuck in the middle.
I think it's a nice way to ask them to say, hey, we're gonna do this, it's gonna go forward, it's already commercial first street, do you want to be zone commercial, you already have the traffic of commercial.
And you can vet out the wetlands.
And that
too,
will
in the meantime.
affect
Something.
them nothing whatsoever.
No,
Nothing.
because the tax rate's the same.
The tax rate's the
right now in
same.
this town, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So they won't be affected by any means, just that somebody can come in and buy them up and.
I mean, as far as additions, decks, that does not change anything.
I can't answer
They're already
that.
pre-existing.
No.
They're already pre-existing.
They may
Pre-existing
intensify
structure.
that. It may allow them.
It'd be a non-conforming, it wouldn't be pre-existing. Well, I guess it's not changing the property line, so,
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know.
they're not changing the footprint.
It'd be non-conforming because we're
No,
changing the
That's why we
district.
didn't want to approach her,
Yeah.
because she wanted to add a shed or garage, what's not allowed commercial. I had
We
residential,
can also talk
and now it's commercial.
Now it's gonna.
We can talk to Jay about the impact too.
Yeah,
You know.
Okay.
yeah.
And I would probably like to see more parcels than just that. It doesn't look as though there's a ton of square footage that's usable space on that lot between the floodway.
45 is basically useless.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So you know that.
45.1 is the one that has
Could have something.
buildable stuff on it.
Has
Yeah.
luck, yeah.
Right on the front.
The village business downtown, where you picked up Schuster's, and you just did that parcel. and
Commercial business,
Village
village business,
business, I think it was. You said rezone those
VB?
last time around?
Yeah,
Yes,
yes.
we did.
I don't think that came from them, that came from the selectmen.
Yeah.
In reality, I would just like to see 45.1 zone, that's spot zone. That's why we attached some of Douglas Lane in parcel 45.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's great, but I think the resident at 18 should be contacted because the town owns on one side of them and that this is all along the other side of them, just to get some input.
That's it.
And who knows, they might say, sure, continue the line and take the line right to the corner, who knows?
I mean, yeah, if not, I think we're pretty good with the way it sits right now. Okay.
Yeah, you know what?
Okay,
Thank you.
Awesome.
All right, thanks,
for the
Bob.
work.
Sorry for the wait.
Appreciate it.
thanks for sticking it out, Bob.
Yeah, maybe we can get y'all in front of the meeting.
I was fell asleep.
I did fall asleep.
I was wondering,
Yeah, it's been a long night.
you and Dan both, I think.
We just have to do future meeting dates. Future meeting dates.
Yep, future meeting. Yeah, yeah. All right,
Thank you.
let's wrap
Meeting
this up.
minutes. Are we doing meeting minutes?
Yeah.
No, we'll hold off on meeting minutes till the next meeting.
Okay.
Got that, Mike?
Future agenda items.
Ladies, gentlemen,
All right, thank you, Bob.
Thank you.
Yeah, have a good night.
Thanks for the work.
Bill, anything? Anybody else, anything that wasn't anticipated? Or on the
Future
agenda?
meeting dates we still need to go over.
July 15th is.
Oh, yes, thank you,
Do we
Tracy.
still have to post a public
Customer
hearings?
party.
No, it's just we have a
Town meeting is
Is in September. We have a date on that, right?
Yes, we did.
9/1,
2 minutes.
9/12.
Well, did you steal my
That gives
agenda?
us 3 meetings before that.
So Bill, do we have to open up public hearings?
Next meeting, if you look at the bottom of your agenda.
Okay.
Here it is.
Just
Yep.
look at that date now.
Yep.
So,
Okay, anybody else have anything?
Can't just knock these out, we're not gonna knock these out? Okay.
Meeting minutes? No, we'll save them till next meeting.
Take 2 seconds.
So we have what, 8:13 and 9:10. What do you want to do, is try to stay with those dates?
oh, dates.
As long as you don't think we need another
Those
one
are
before the
openings
meeting.
that the town clerk had available, and we tried to be as consistent as possible between what our regular meeting schedule is and the date she had available and the day of the week. So that was the logic
Do we
there.
need a motion on that, or?
Just, I would say, yeah, just
We're
move it so I can
We're changing the schedule that's already been
have
posted, so
them
now
post it, yeah.
Yeah.
I'll make a motion to accept and adopt the new meeting dates. That is future meeting dates. Do you want the actual dates?
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
8/13, 9, which is a Thursday, 9/10 Thursday, 9/23 a Wednesday, 10/15 a Thursday, 10/28 a Wednesday, 11/19 a Thursday, and 12/10 Thursday.
Okay.
Okay. What was the first one?
A second.
What? Motion made by Mike Z, seconded by
8/13?
Tracy.
Okay, so these are right.
All's in favor? Roll call?
Tracy Sharkey, aye.
Mike Greco, aye.
Aaron Sokrat, aye.
Stevens, aye.
Mike Zwicker, right?
Jake Schultzberg, aye.
Motion carries. All right, anything else?
Make a motion to adjourn.
Second that motion.
Motion made by Tracy to adjourn, seconded by Mike Z. All those in favor?
Tracy Sharkey, aye.
Roll call.
Roll call, Mike.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Motion to adjourn.
Mike Greco, aye.
Aaron Sokrat, aye.
Stevens, aye.
Mike Zwicker, right?
Sorry, was-
Jake Schultzberg, aye.
Hey,
before you go,
Carries,
wait.
we're officially done. Thank you, everybody. Thank you,
Thank you.
Kevin, for all